clinches the division title. If Miami wins today and next week against the Colts, the AFC East crown goes south, along with home field throughout the playoffs. Here in Buffalo, 35 degrees, freezing rain changing to sleet and snow, while the Dolphins can only fantasize about the balmy conditions in Miami, where it is 82 degrees with sunshine. Speaking of sunshine, this is Paul McGuire. I'm Marv Albert, and for the first time in the history of these two franchises, Buffalo and Miami are playing here in Buffalo in the month of December. How will the weather affect Miami?
Well, it's not going to affect Buffalo as much as it is Miami. Miami, I'm looking at a situation here, is handling the football on pass receptions and also turning the ball over in fumbles. A turnover is going to win this football game.
And the Buffalo Bills won the toss. They will receive. Pete Stoyanovich getting set to kick it away to number 30, Don Smith, who is back deep along with Al Edwards. Smith from the 15. Able to return across the 25-yard line. There is Frank Reich replacing the injured Jim Kelly. And the offensive line, Will Wolford, was a question mark because of a knee injury suffered last week, but says he's all right. Thurman Thomas and Jamie Mueller are the running backs. And the outstanding group of receivers, Lofton and Reed, along with the tight end McKellar. The shotgun of the passing down. Beebe comes on, along with Smith. And you can look for Don Beebe to be one of the favorite targets of Frank Reich. It's a first down from the 27. And Reich to throw on first down. McKellar could not hang on. The tight end Keith McKellar, a legitimate receiving threat, could not hold it. Covered by Cliff Odom. Defensively, Brian Sauché replacing the injured T.J. Turner, inactive today because of a knee problem. Buffalo in the hurry-up. Second down and 10 from the 27. To the ground for Thomas. Thurman Thomas averaging just under 5 yards per carry. Back to the Dolphin defensive look in passing situations. Wholesale changes are made. Again, Buffalo in the hurry-up. And you see Wilson, Jr., Glenn, and Thomas come on in the nickel. It is a third down and 5 from the 32. Wright has the first down, combining with Thurman Thomas. He picked up 15.
See, the one thing about the hurry-up offense when they ran it with Kelly, and they can also run it with Reich, is what they do is they've got Miami in their basic defense, and they're trying to keep them there. When they do this, Thurman Thomas, number 34, comes out of the backfield. The tight end takes the linebackers out of play.
And again to the hurry-up, and Reich completes a hard hit on Don Beebe. That went for 14. The strong safety, Jarvis Williams, on the stop. Well, the Miami Dolphins expected the Buffalo Bills to stay on the ground, but the Bills crossing the Dolphins up early. Reich has been going to the air.
Reich is going to the air. They put Tasker in. They took Beebe out. He took a shot, and they're checking his back.
First down at the 38, just underway. Minute and a half gone by. Here's Thomas. Thurman Thomas forced out by the right corner, J.B. Brown.
When they run this sweep, what happens is that the tight end, and they try to tie up the linebacker, which is Hugh Green, number 55. If Hugh Green can't get outside, that means Thurman Thomas can get outside.
Buffalo Bills have been a very fast starting outfit, and they're on the move off this opening series. Second down and 4 at the Miami 32. The first down. Hugh Green made the stop. Thurman Thomas leading the NFL in total yards, better than 1,600. In only his third season, he's emerged as one of the NFL's premier running backs.
One of the things about the hurry-up offense is it's great for the offense against the defense, but the other bad thing about it is we can't show you any replays.
It's a first down from the 26. Wright couldn't find anybody. The ball knocked out of his hands. And let's wait until they unravel. The Dolphins indicate that they have recovered. They have. Miami Sammy has recovered on the fumble by quarterback Frank Reich.
Now the left defensive end, look at Marv. You can see Marv Levy. He is really upset about this. Reich is starting moving out of the pocket. Just reaches in and the ball is pulled out of his hand. Reich will come right at you here. Here he comes, and I think it's O'Shea, number 70. Watch this. He just pops the ball out. There's just no chance. Reich, when you start running, remember now, he hasn't played that much. You must have control of the football when you're running with it.
So Brian O'Shea with a key play early. It's been a season of suspension for steroid use and a season of injuries for O'Shea, who played well last week in the game against Seattle. Dan Marino of the Dolphins take over at the 23. That's Mark Clayton making his return today in motion. Marino puts it up on first down and able to complete right at the marker. Darryl Talley making the stop on Clayton. A couple of outstanding rookies on that offensive line. Richmond Webb, who has made it to the Pro Bowl, along with Keith Sims. They have played very well, and it is a young offensive line. Tony Page makes his return. Sat out last week with an ankle injury. Clayton is back after sitting out 5 weeks. And in the passing situation, Crash Jensen comes on along with Troy Stratford and Tony Martin. They're calling it a second at about a yard. And to the ground for Sammy Smith. He has the first down. Bruce Smith making the tackle. Sammy Smith has had his ups and downs recently. Problems with fumbles. That Bills front seven. Seals, Wright, and Smith up front. Bennett, Conlon, Bentley, and Talley. One of the stronger front sevens in the NFL. And when they go to the dime, Dwight Crane and David Poole enter the alignment. That's the normal secondary and a good one. First down at the 34. Off the fumble by Wright. Miami has taken over. No score. 4 minutes gone by. Clayton in motion. And the penalty flag is thrown.
Richmond Webb was moving. Trying to get to Bruce Smith.
Number 78 on the outside.
I guess that's one good way to try to block him. Just go before he does. He knows Richmond Webb has his hands full. On top of the screen, you'll see him. He moves here because Bruce Smith is moving. Now, Bruce Smith would have been offside had Webb just sat there. But he didn't. He attacked Bruce Smith.
Referee today is Red Cashin. And he marked it off. It's a 1st and 15 at the 29. 83 Clayton peels off. Smith. Stopped by Ray Bentley. Ray Bentley, an avid Alice Cooper fan. Get a close-up of Ray. You'll note, Paul, you can relate to this. He wears the eye black. There it is, in Alice Cooper style. Very nice. Ray Bentley in his 5th year out of Central Michigan. Had a terrific game against the Giants last week. 14 tackles. Defensive coordinator Walt Corey said that Bentley was remarkable last week because he did it with one arm. An injured arm. And the Buffalo defensive unit comes up strong. Smith and Seals getting the wraps on Sammy Smith.
That time Bruce Smith came up the middle to make the play. He didn't actually make the tackle, but he slowed down Sammy Smith. And then you're going to see Leon. Now, here comes Bruce. He's just coming up the middle. He doesn't make the tackle. Leon Seals does. He comes in to make the play. But as long as you slow him down, give your teammates a chance to get there, you did the job.
Paul, we're told yesterday after practice, Bruce Smith got in a skirmish with tight end Keith McKellar. Punches were thrown. Smith hurt his hand. At first it was thought he suffered a broken hand, but it was not broken. Here's Marino, and he is sacked. And that, as you know, is a rarity. The quick-moving nose tackle, Jeff Wright, with his 5th sack of the season.
Remember, a year ago, Jeff Wright is the guy that sacked Marino here to break that long streak. Bruce Smith is double-teamed by Jensen and by Webb on the top side. And then you're going Wright all by himself, one-on-one in the middle with Sims. And he beats Sims, makes the tackle, makes the sack, and the Dolphins are putting.
And Reggie Roby will punt from inside his 15. Al Edwards is back. Edwards comes up for it and takes inside the 25, and he is immediately fall down. This is a matchup of two of the better special teams in the NFL. You saw the flag go flying. A 48-yard punt by Roby, and the good coverage by the Dolphins. Kerry Glenn, who has made the Pro Bowl team as an alternate on special teams, is right on the scene to get to Edwards.
And they're throwing a flag. There's a late hit on Moore, number 27, coming in and throwing an elbow.
Paul, getting back to that Bruce Smith, Keith McKellar, Maley, Pickering Bills, as they were labeled last year and right at the start of this year, had been on the quiet side, but now back at it.
Invalid fair catch signal. Number 85 on the receivers. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. First down and 10.
What happened is Edwards signaled for a fair catch and then let the ball hit and then pick the ball up and try to run with it. I thought they called piling on Moore, number 27, but they didn't. See, here's the fair catch by Edwards here, where then he lets the ball go. Now he starts to run with the football. That slows the defense down, unfair advantage.
And Glenn had to make the play because he saw that Edwards was looking to run. We'll be back in Buffalo in a moment.
Upon its introduction, the first Acura Legend set a new standard for performance sedans. But as impressive as that may have been, it was merely a reflection of things to come. Introducing the new Legend from Acura.
To the good life.
To live the good life, you have to pay the price. Today, the average new car costs over $15,000. But relax. There's a motor oil that can protect your investment under extreme conditions when conventional oils won't. Mobil One. Isn't your car worth the extra protection?
To the good life.
There is big-time controversy brewing in Bud Bowl 3. Bud Light's top draft choice, Bud Dry, announced he may give up football and play baseball instead. While it would be the BFL's loss, it would certainly be baseball's gain. Major League Manager Tommy Lasorda had this to say.
You don't see athletes like this every day.
Will it be footballs or fastballs for Bud Dry? For Bud Bowl Update, I'm Chris Burke.
Buffalo head coach Marv Levy told us last night the Bills have succeeded with the hurry-up, but he points out the downside of the hurry-up is that at times it takes you out of the running game, and he feels you must be able to run to win a championship.
So now here's the situation that we're going to find out. Will they go to the hurry-up again? It was successful going down the field, except Reich fumbled the football. But what it does, if you don't move the chains and move the clock and keep your defense off the field, if you go 3 and out in a minute, you hurt your defensive football team.
It is the first out of the 17. We're told Don Beebe has been sidelined because of a head injury. Al Edwards now in as a flanker. Thurman Thomas. And he is stopped by John Offerdahl. John Offerdahl had another excellent game last week against Seattle. Offerdahl played with an upset stomach and played very well. We're told victim of some bad clam sauce. Paul, a lesson in life for you. Penalty markers are thrown on the 2nd down and 4. Looked like Brian Soche showed movement. Talking with Offerdahl at practice yesterday, he said he did stay away from the clam sauce here in the Buffalo area. All right, here is Red Cashin.
Well, they're looking at Buffalo Bills are moving, and it would be the right guard, John Davis. That's why Soche moved. That's the House Ballard. Next to him is Davis, number 65, and he's the guy that actually moved.
The House, Howard Ballard, who goes 6'6", and a very svelte 3'15".
315, give or take 10.
He's played well. He had his ups and downs last year. It is a 2nd and 9 from the 18. And right with the time, and has a first down. James Lofton on the reception for 24 yards.
There is just no way that you can cover a man that long, and especially James Lofton, because Reich had all the time in the world. The offensive line, just tremendous blocking. No chance for the defensive line to get to Reich. No chance for McCarr to cover Lofton.
And back to the hurry-up. It is Thurman Thomas finding a hole, bringing out to midfield. Cliff Odom, inside linebacker, making the stop. Thurman Thomas in his 3rd year out of Oklahoma State. And he can pass by Marion Butts of San Diego for the number 1 spot in rushing, because Butts is sidelined by injury. You saw Thurman limp to the sideline, replaced by Kenneth Davis. 2nd down and 3. This is Davis. And a flag toss. First down. Picked up by Kenneth Davis in his 5th year out of Texas Christian.
They're calling this on the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins, the least penalized team in the NFL.
Illegal use of hands. It's got to be hands to the face, especially on defense and on a running play.
Illegal use of the hands. Number 98 on the defense. First down.
Well, here's Thurman Thomas. Now, Thurman limped off the field. Davis went in. Here's the play. They're going up into the middle, and he was limping when he came out. Now, right there, it doesn't look like he twisted anything until he hit the ground, and then they rolled over on him.
Buffalo first down from the Miami 38. Oh, that was nearly picked off. Pass intended for the tight end, Keith McKellar. It was blooped out into the flat. John Offerdahl had a shot at it.
The pass was thrown to McKellar, but McKellar was not even looking back at Reich. I mean, he just came across the middle. Watch McKellar. The ball is going to go by now. Offerdahl's the only one that had a chance at it. Look at shots hit. All I got to do is pick it up. I can outrun the lineman.
2nd and 10, number 38. And Reich goes deep for the end zone. And it's dropped. Andre Reed had the sure 6. He was screened by the cover man, Louis Oliver, but he should have caught it.
Jarvis Williams and Louis Oliver were both back there. Now, Reich has the pressure on him, so he just slides out to his left and throws the ball. And you're right, Reed, I think he just lost it, because it was either Jarvis Williams or Louis Oliver. He got his hand up, and he never saw it.
Now, Andre Reed, who is the Bills' all-time leader in touchdown receptions and has had another outstanding season, has not caught a touchdown pass in 8 straight games against Miami. No score with 6:40 remaining in this first quarter. Here's the 3rd down play. Right in trouble, down he goes. And that is the first sack of the day for the Dolphins. Ryan Sauché off to the excellent start. And that his first sack of the season.
And he just runs right by Will Wolford, the starting tackle, and makes a play on Reich. Now, here is the play before when it could have been a touchdown. Now, I'm not sure if it's Jarvis Williams or Oliver. There is the hand in the face. That was Oliver, number 25. Jarvis Williams was there. And I just think that Andre Reed just lost the ball.
Rick Tootin with his first punt of the day. Gets the good hang time. And the Dolphins let it go. Once again, excellent coverage by the Bills, led by Jamie Mueller. 37-yard punt. And Miami goes back to the offense.
What do you give a man who has the look, the touch, the smile? Preferred stock from the House of Stetson. The new, the now, the gift. Preferred stock, the extra smooth cologne for an extra special man.
What's that fragrance you're wearing?
Make a statement without saying a word.
Acura introduced what many have called the greatest sports car the world has ever known. Our latest idea is somewhat bigger. The new Acura Legend.
What's this? Bunny slippers?
Of all the last-minute gifts you can buy, one's appreciated more than all the rest.
Wow.
McDonald's gift certificates.
Thanks, Mom.
McDonald's for holiday fun.
This is how easy it is to collate a mailing on an IBM laser printer. And how easy is it to collate with our major competitor? Probably now isn't the best time to ask. IBM laser printers. Suddenly, nothing else measures up.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Acura Automobiles. Experience precision-crafted performance. By LA Gear. Unstoppable in performance fashion footwear. By IBM. Whatever your size, whatever your needs, IBM is working to bring you the best solutions. And by the Budweiser family of beers, who also bring you Bud Bowl 3 coming January 27th.
Happy holidays from Buffalo, New York. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire as the Dolphins start out from their 11. Sammy Smith trying to establish a running game for the Dolphins. Buffalo on its first series did move down the field crisply. However, the quarterback Frank Reich fumbled, recovered by the Dolphins. And as a result, despite the fact that the Bills have had the edge here in the first quarter, we are scoreless. Back in week 2, a convincing victory at Joe Robbie Stadium by Miami. At one stretch, Miami had won 20 in a row over Buffalo. That through the 70s. And a first down picked up by Mark Duper. His first catch of the day, covered by the right corner, Nate Odoms.
First and 10 is 24.
So first down at the 24-yard line. All right, a look at the 10-minute ticker. Pittsburgh with a 14-0 lead over Cleveland. Atlanta 10-0 over the LA Rams. Johnny Hector touchdown for the Jets.
You're seeing Duper get to the outside, and when you play off that far off a Duper, he's going to end up catching some balls. And Nate Odoms is not going to give the deep stuff. I think he was looking for some help from Kelly on the outside.
And a first down at the 24-yard line. Dane Conlon with a stop on Troy Stratford. Troy Stratford, the excellent third down back, made it back from a serious knee injury. Boston College's all-time leading rusher.
Now, we talked about this matchup at the beginning about Richmond Webb and Bruce Smith. Now, he just checks him back down to the inside to Keith Sims, the other rookie. Now, if Bruce Smith wants to move inside, they've got Sims to pick him up there. If he moves to the outside of Webb, there's a back to pick him up there. So they're actually looking at almost 3 people trying to block Bruce Smith.
Second down and 6 from the 28. 4:20 remaining in this first quarter, and the crowd attempting to play havoc with Dan Marino. Marino in trouble. And that was an ad-lib. He was able to complete to Tony Page. Ray Bentley on the coverage. That's a 12-yard pickup. And Miami has a first down.
A lot of great things happened on this play. First of all, Bruce Smith should have had his 20th sack. He's got Marino, but watch what Marino does. Little fake, the hold Smith. He gets to the outside. The best part about this play is the catch that Page makes. Page is turned one way. Now watch, he'll come back the other way. Lose sight of the ball, still catch the ball. He's out of bounds. They ought to review it, and they are. Bring it back. His foot was out of bounds. But it was a tremendous catch because, you know, you're taught as a receiver, when the ball comes, you turn towards the ball. You don't turn your back. Right? See where you turn his back here? Now you lose sight of the ball, but he has enough presence of mind to come back and get the ball. But look at his left foot on the line. They're going to bring this ball back. It's going to be third down.
The replay official is Dave Hawk, and he is in communication with Red Cashin on the field.
Reversal. It is
Well, Tony Page argument, but if he looked down, or tomorrow when he takes a look at the replay, I think he will agree.
Yeah, you see, Marv, this is one of the reasons why the replay is good. Now, this would have been a first down. The officials are there. Page is on the line. He is clearly out of bounds. Nothing inconclusive there. He's out of bounds. This is why the replay must stand, but they've got to get as many cameras as we have in every game.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay, Paul. Are you in touch with the accountants?
Did you mark that down?
What did you say?
They have to have as many cameras as we have for every game.
So you like the replays if they spend more money, is what you
Exactly.
say. I mean,
you've got to have that many cameras for every replay.
On third down and 6 from the 28. 4 wideouts for the Dolphins. Nice catch by Clayton.
Marino's pass complete to Clayton.
And Marino comes back and picks up the first down. Mark Clayton making his return. He was covered by the extra defensive back, David Poole.
Watch Clayton's hands. Look at his hands when he catches this ball. He waits until the ball is there. Poole has no chance. Just soft hands, making sure he catches the ball. Knows he's going to get hit. Knows where the first down is. You know, O.J. was talking about at the beginning, Clayton was worried about this field because he does have a bad knee. He's already caught a couple.
Yes, he sat out 5 games on IR with that knee injury. First down at the 37. Off the delay. Goal opening for Sammy Smith. Stopped by Bruce Smith. Down to 3:15 remaining now in the first quarter. Set for an NFL update. Here's Bob.
Marv, it's difficult to overstate how bad the Cleveland Browns are. They've had the ball for 3 plays in the game. They've fumbled it away on all 3 snaps deep in their own territory. All 3 times, Bubby Brister has immediately taken the Steelers into the end zone. 3 Brister touchdown passes, 2 of them to number 84, Mike Malarkey. Steelers 21, Browns zip.
All right, Bob, Pittsburgh win would clinch a playoff spot. Again, it's Smith. Stopped by Darryl Talley. We talked with Talley at length yesterday, and there's no question how disappointed he is that he did not make the Pro Bowl. He has been considered the last couple of years as one of the league's most underrated players, but can't seem to get the nod by the fellow players to make the Pro Bowl.
You know, the amazing part about it, though, that Shane Conlon and Cornelius Bennett both make it, and they both tell you and tell everybody that Talley should make it before we do.
Third down and 3. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Quick release by Marino, and he has another first down. It's Clayton with his 3rd catch of this first quarter. The strong safety, Leonard Smith, made the tackle.
You know what? Talking to Marino, when you talk about Clayton's back and you think he's happy, this is only the first quarter, and he's already hit him with 3 passes. Look, and he goes right out to Clayton. Clayton goes down, super catch, knows where the first down marker is. That's the experience that Marino really wants. With Clayton and Duper, both of these guys know where they have to get the first down marker. They're not worried about getting downfield for the touchdown now. They're setting that up.
Duper left, Clayton right. With a quick hit over the middle of Phil Edmonds. John Hagee from the free safety position to make the stop. Edmonds, who had a terrific day last week against Seattle, career best, 5 receptions, able to connect for a 24-yard advance.
All right, Farrell Edmonds goes across. Now look at Cornelius Bennett. I know he's not supposed to be covering him one-on-one. He's down there trying to make the play. Hagee comes up and makes the tackle. But the one thing about Marino, what he does, he threw one to Duper just a little while ago. Throws 2 to Clayton. He goes back to the tight end. He drives the defense crazy because he doesn't have one particular target.
First down from the 29, and that one was dropped. Edmonds tried to turn for it. He was covered by the outside linebacker, Cornelius Bennett. Farrell Edmonds has come a long way this season. Earlier in the year, had problems holding on to the ball, too many holding penalties. But he's come on strong, and he's made the Pro Bowl for the 2nd consecutive season.
Now, don't be surprised to see Marino come back with that very same play, because when he came out on the bootleg, he had Clayton all by himself going down the field. What happened was number 31, James Williams, let him go. They'll come back to it.
This is the 11th play of the drive. 2nd and 10 at the Buffalo 29. 45 seconds left. First quarter with no score. Little flare hit the defender in the back, hit Conlon, who was covering. Marino also taking a shot. The pass intended for Stratford.
Smith and Talley both were in the backfield on Dan Marino. He throws the ball and he'll hit Shane Conlon in the back with it. But here's why he threw it so soon, because Talley was the first guy there, and then Smith came in and put the finishing touches on. But watch this. Here comes Smith. Talley will be the first guy, 56, and then Smith on the other side. That's why Marino had to dump the ball that quick.
3rd down and 10 at the Buffalo 29. Cooper and Clayton both flank to the left side. Penalty markers down, and Marino just puts the brakes on.
Well, Keith Sims, number 69, the left guard, moved because the linebackers were standing in the corner faking, coming on the blitz, and he moves. He knows it. He moved too soon.
Number 69 on the offense. 3rd down.
That's a big old target. That's a big old target. And when you see this big guy right here, you see the linebacker was right there is moving. When he does, the big guy is going to move. Here it comes. That's it. Once he makes that motion, it's against the offense.
So all 3 penalties have been called on the Miami offense. It's a 3rd down and 15. Marino with the time, and it's broken up. Intended for Tony Martin.
You're going to have a flag. I'm going to tell you right now, Hagee just absolutely drills. I'm sorry, Mark. Tony Martin after the play. He tears his helmet off. I mean, this is a dumb play by Hagee. The play was already knocked down by James Williams. Watch this. The play is knocked down. Now watch what Hagee does. Right in the head. And there's no reason for that. We know you're tough, but don't be dirty and don't be stupid.
And Marv Levy was telling us that was his major concern because he has his club there. He's upset. His team is so pumped up.
Unnecessary roughness after the pass. Number 22.
And he was saying that he does not want his guys to get carried away and commit foolish penalties, as we just saw, particularly against Miami, because normally they do not pick up many penalties.
That's exactly what he said. That was really funny, because Levy's talking about the fact that Miami, they just, whether they're not called against them, I know that there are holding penalties, don't we all, almost every play. But the one thing that this man stresses from the beginning of training camp, because I do their preseason games, is play tough, don't play dumb, and don't play dirty. And when you see the play, you may be yelling at the referee now, but when you see the play, you're going to see that Hagee was wrong.
And as a 1st down at the 19. And Smith tried the right side and went for the short gain. He refused to go down. Finally, Jeff Wright was able to make the tackle. That's time running down in this 1st quarter. Dolphins and Bills are scoreless. Capacity crowd here at Rich Stadium, where the Bills are undefeated, 7-0 at home. The AFC's only undefeated home club. Over the last 3 years, Buffalo has won 22 of its last 24 here in Orchard Park. And that will wrap it. So the 1st quarter in the books. We'll be back here in Buffalo in just a moment.
Roll with the clean, fresh taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never lets you down.
When you're out street hiking, you better know how to read the terrain. First, trust your instincts. By all means, avoid distractions. Best to preserve the wildlife, because street hikers don't just walk, they hike. Fresh news, Joe.
Upon its introduction, the first Acura Legend set a new standard for performance sedans. But as impressive as that may have been, it was merely a reflection of things to come. Introducing the new legend from Acura.
Is giving Richard Mulligan's hometown a Christmas they'll never forget.
The best holiday ever!
Guess who's coming for Christmas on NBC tonight?
This is where Hagee tries to take off Tony Martin's head. This is where the flag is. Watch right here. Look at his right arm. Look where he hits him. Right there, in the head, in the neck. And that's why the penalty is called. He rips his helmet off. You can't complain about that. That's dirty football.
John Hagee in his third year out of Texas. He's been playing for the injured Mark Kelso. Kelso is back, although he is not back as a regular. 14th play of the drive as we get underway. Second quarter, second down and 6 at the 15. Smith swept. Sammy Smith, in his second season out of Florida State, says that he's much quicker this year after dropping about 12 pounds in the offseason. Paulie says he's cut out the extra trips to his favorite fast food outlets. Something some of us can relate to.
Well, the only way they're going to stop me from doing this is if they take my car away.
It is a third down and 4. And so this the 15th play of this long drive by the Dolphins. No score as we get underway in the second. That is short of the first down as Talley had the wraps on Jim Jensen. And the ball was wrestled free. But they will bring it back.
It'll be fourth down, and Talley, you know, you see how important he is. He's got Jensen man-to-man coming out. Talley, the linebacker, on the back. And Marino is looking right at him. Watch this. Bang, the ball is there. Talley knows where that first down marker is. And I'm going to tell you something. They're going to call a whistle blown, but there's a fumble. And we're going to look at it. And there's no way they're going to overrule it, even if they review it. It's a fumble.
Well, they are right to the line. 28-yard field goal attempt coming up on a 4th and 2. Pete Stoyanovich, 21 for 23 for the season. The holder is the backup quarterback, Scott Secures. And Stoyanovich's kick is no good. Pete Stoyanovich, a Pro Bowl kicker, missing from 28 yards. The Bills and the Dolphins remain scoreless.
And winds northwest of 30 knots, gusting to 45 knots. Rain expected to continue till 10 p.m. 5 inches predicted in the 7-county area.
If you've ever been stranded, you ought to get this new Interstate X2 booster. It's actually 2 batteries in one. So, when you run down your main battery, the extra booster battery starts your car. Interstate X2 booster. Best idea since a spare tire.
Tots, the premium choice.
In these uncertain times, the intelligent investor focuses on current trends, watches the economic indicators, analyzes the various business sectors, developing keen insights before making a single move on Wall Street. On the other hand, the extremely intelligent investor has someone else help him do it. Prudential-based securities, rock solid, market wise.
Pete Stoyanovich in his second season out of Indiana University had made 7 straight. And as you see, he had connected on his last 18 inside the 40, but he missed from 28.
Not used to the field, a little slippery. Could be a lot of things.
Or he just blew it.
He blew it.
First down from the 20, Buffalo. Taking over, Dolphins and the Bills are scoreless. And once again, flags are thrown.
Well, it is amazing. Sean Lee, as soon as he was across, he pointed to the Buffalo Bills. Now, they seem to be going backwards, so they must agree. I'd tell my team, don't move back until the guy tells you to move back.
Ball start. Number 69 on the offense. Still first down.
And that's Will Wolford to tackle, but Sean Lee was over the middle. How did he see the left tackle move?
Sets it back to a first and 15, back of the 15.
Now, right at the bottom right, you see Wolford lift up. What I'm saying, Sean Lee is on the other side of the center. Why didn't the guy next to him, Jeff Cross, move?
John Beebe, who was hammered in the first quarter and left because of a head injury, is all right and is back in action. The handoff to Thurman Thomas. Thomas ripping across the 25. He went for 11. Inside linebacker Cliff Odom making the stop.
They're going right to the side of Richer, Wolford, and Hall. The hole was there between Richer, 51, and Kent Hall, the center. Hurry up.
Thomas came out limping, but indicated that he's all right. Right going deep. Intended for Andre Reed. He was covered by Tim McKyer.
Well, you know, this is incidental contact, accidental contact, any way you want to call it. Watch Reed. Now, McKyer has as much right at that football, and look at Reed is pushing with his hand. If you're going to call anything at all on that particular play, it would be offensive pass interference against Reed, because McKyer has as much right to that ball as Reed does.
Tim McKyer, a man who wears 2 Super Bowl rings, constantly admired by his teammates by virtue of his play with the San Francisco 49ers. Looks like there's a holding penalty called on the center, Kent Hull, and they will move it back again. Now, in the past, Tim McKyer has not been shy in assessing himself. He's called himself the Michael Jordan of defensive backs.
All right, now you see Kent Hall right to the left of your screen, and now that's holding. And I don't care how, you cannot put your arm outside and around the guy's neck. That hurts.
It's a 2nd and 14. And Reed on the completion. Able to stiff arm his way for the first down. Strong safety Jarvis Williams making the stop. Good effort after the catch by Reed, who picked up 20 in all.
You know, when you take a look at Andre Reed, here's another Pro Bowler, and all the catches that he has, they're usually short passes just like that. About anywhere from 8 to 10 yards, and then he breaks it. Here he comes across the field. Offerdahl is trying to stay with him. I got to believe that Offerdahl is not trying to cover Reed one-on-one.
Back to the hurry-up, and Wright unloads. Intended for Beebe. Last year against Miami, when Wright started for Buffalo in the absence of Jim Kelly, and the Bills knocked off Miami, Beebe and Wright were able to combine on a 60-yard touchdown pass.
What it didn't Wright tell us, he says there isn't a corner man that can stay with Beebe. Now Wright is throwing the ball. Beebe thinks that he's being interfered with by Brown, but again, goes back to the same thing we had on this side with McKyer. He has as much right Brown to that ball as Beebe does.
And Thomas broke a tackle. Cliff Odom made the stop, and it's being spotted at the marker.
Here they come again with Thurman Thomas, and they go right back to the same place. Inside Richer and Hall. The All-Pro center, and Richer, everybody thinks should have been an All-Pro guard. The Bills have 8 All-Pros. They thought they should have at least 12.
Thurman Thomas has come up limping on a number of occasions. The coaches wanted to pull him a couple of plays back, but he waved it off. Buffalo just short of a first down. 12 and a half remaining in the second quarter. The Dolphins and the Bills are scoreless. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire from Buffalo, It'll be a third and about a half-yard at the 44. Miami must beat Buffalo to have a chance to win the division title. If they beat the Bills and then the Colts next week, they would win the AFC East and gain home field throughout the playoffs. A Buffalo win would clinch the division championship for the Bills and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They will get a first-round bye in the expanded playoffs. John Smith has the first down. So a first down at the 47. Now this will capsulize it. If the Dolphins win today, they remain in the running for the AFC East crown, and then would need a win against Indianapolis or a Buffalo loss to Washington. How do you figure the Colts? They knocked off the Redskins last night. And an injured player, Alfred Oglesby, a backup nose tackle, being taken to the sidelines. We'll be right back.
The Chevy Corsica has better aerodynamics than a Porsche 928 and a gas-charged independent front suspension, which helps you hold the road. Corsica also has a new user-friendly interior, which helps you hold the most important things. It's a very comforting way more people are winning with.
The heartbeat of America, that's today's Chevrolet.
And now it's easy to win with an efficient new Chevy Corsica.
I want to fly in business class. My company only pays for coach. So I fly business class for the price of coach. It's called beating the system. Of course, you can't do it on just any airline.
On TWA, when you buy an unrestricted domestic coach ticket, you can reserve a confirmed seat in our business class for the price of coach.
You pay for coach, you sit in business class, and it isn't even your birthday.
TWA's business class. We did it first, we do it better.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place. All my dreams, Miller Low 5.
Well, Paul, I guess Thurman Thomas does like to go to his left.
Well, yeah, he goes to the all-pro side over there. Well, you know, with Richard and Wolford. Wolford is the left tackle. Remember, on most teams, especially with right-handed quarterbacks, your left tackle is probably your best offensive lineman, or at least best tackle.
Buffalo first down from their 47. 3.5 gone by, second quarter. Miami and Buffalo, no score. And Wright throwing in a crowd and able to complete to McKellar for the first down. McKellar between Offerdahl and Odom.
And this is what Don Shula told us yesterday what McKellar gives to this football team. Watch this now. Look where this pass is thrown. You can't throw the pass any better than that. That ball hits McKellar right in the hands. They pick up a first down.
Back to the hurry-up first down at the Miami 41-yard line. Now the long count by Wright. Off the pump. Able to run inside the 35-yard line. David Griggs on the cover-up. Check of the ticker. Philadelphia with a 7-0 lead on Dallas. Houston 10-0 in the second. Look at Pittsburgh over Cleveland. A victory by Pittsburgh would clinch a wild card. Second down and 4 at the 36.
Here's the road. Pittsburgh starts out slow and ends up in the playoffs.
Mike on the swing for Thomas. And Thurman Thomas with the first down. 13-yard pickup. John Offerdahl made the stop.
Louis Oliver made a mistake. He has Thurman Thomas on this screen. And watch what happens. He hesitates. And when he hesitates, Thurman goes by him. Here it comes right there. It was breaking down. Instead of running through Thurman Thomas and making a play, he gave Thomas the opportunity to put that little fake on him and get downfield.
And this the 10th play of the drive. First out of the 23. Thomas finding the hole. Able to collect a first down, but a penalty marker has been thrown.
And it's against Buffalo because Frank Reich is heading back to the 40-yard line.
A host of penalties called in this first half.
Number 65, John Davis.
Number 67 on the offense.
Well, he thought it was on him. He was talking to the official. It's on Ken Hall. That's his second, the All-Pro center.
Ken Hall in his 5th year out of Mississippi State, making it to the Pro Bowl for the 3rd consecutive season.
He was holding. You can't get your arms outside.
High number of penalties, 9 in all in this first half. Sets it back to a 1st and 20 at the 33. 2 key plays in this first half. The fumble lost by Frank Reich off that long Buffalo drive, and then Stoyanovich missing on a 28-yard field goal. James Lofton had nowhere to go. What a turnaround season for James Lofton. Only 8 receptions last year. And this season, with that, his second catch of the day, 33 catches for the year. He is now number 3 in all-time receiving yards behind Steve Largent and Charlie Joyner. 34-year-old James Lofton.
That play there picked up a grand total of about a half a yard.
Second down and still about 20, and Wright unloads. Don Beebe for 17 yards. A strong safety, Jarvis Williams, made the stop. Beebe with tremendous speed in his second year out of Chadron State in Nebraska.
Now, Beebe's coming across, and what Jarvis Williams was talking, who he was talking to, was Griggs, 92, the linebacker. He said, you cannot let him get to the inside.
3rd and 3. Down at the 16. Here's Thomas. Pulling for the first down. Jarvis Williams on the tackle. Thurman Thomas has run very well in this first half. 8 carries, 58 yards.
Here's McKellar. We saw him catch the ball. Now let's watch him block to the outside. He gets the linebacker, David Griggs, number 92, to commit himself to the outside. He just lets him go out there. You really don't have to put a whole lot of pressure. If that's the way he wants to go ahead and let him go that way. And then Thurman Thomas cuts back to the inside.
There's Thomas on the 1st and goal from the 9. And Thomas stacked up. John Offerdahl, Miami's leading tackler, will get credit for that one.
Another All-Pro season for John Offerdahl, number 56. Now watch, he takes on Richard at the line of scrimmage, number 51, and gets rid of him, finds Thurman Thomas, makes the play. 2-yard gain, that's all.
Second and goal from the 7. Right with the time, fires, touchdown! James Lofton with his 4th touchdown reception of the season.
The nice part about this play is the time that Frank Reich has to throw the football. Now Lofton comes down. Watch the moves that Lofton makes. He goes back. Reich has all the time in the world. McKyer can't get there. Just a perfect pass. Frank Reich, what he told us yesterday, I just don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to hurt our football team, and I think I can help him.
Scott Norwood will attempt the extra point. Reich put it down. The Buffalo Bills with a 7-0 lead on the Miami Dolphins.
This is a 2-hour ride. So what if my diarrhea comes back?
Oh, relax. You took these Imodium AD caplets.
Just once. I always took the pink stuff 2 or 3 times.
Well, these are much better.
Imodium AD caplets are so effective, they often work in one dose.
instead of dose after dose after dose like the pink stuff.
Leaving.
Already? Imodium AD caplets can make your first attack of diarrhea your last.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
Not long ago, Honda and Toyota were known for the highest mileage. But today, there's Geo, the most fuel-efficient line of cars and trucks in America. Get to know Geo at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Getting to know.
In today's higher revving and hotter running engines, wear is a greater problem than ever before. Oil breakdown can shorten the life of vital engine parts. That's why there's Castrol. Castrol provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol, because driving today can be a grind. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Today's Chevrolet, who invites you to see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America. By TWA, the only airline that lets you fly business class for the price of coach. By McDonald's, you know the one, it's McDonald's for food, folks, and fun. And by Miller Genuine Draft, with a reminder to please think when you drink this holiday season.
7-0. The Buffalo Bills leading the Miami Dolphins. 13 plays, 80 yards over 6 minutes, 49 seconds. And Scott Norwood getting set to kick it off with a combination of Mark Logan and Stephon Adams. Logan on the return. And a flag has been thrown. Logan in his 4th year out of Kentucky last year, leading the NFL in kickoff returns until a knee injury set him back, and he ended up finishing 3rd, averaging 25 per return.
All right, here's Lofton's touchdown. Now, when he goes in, he's going to avoid the linebacker right here. Take a look at here. Here's the linebacker. Now, here's McKyer. McKyer is already beaten. He can't get to the inside. He tries to make the play, but can't. There's Lofton. He avoids the linebacker. McKyer can't get there. That's touchdown.
James Lofton in his 13th year out of Stanford. So they set it back on Miami.
They just called Adams for the block, number 47 on Tasker, who is going to the Pro Bowl. That looks like he's 12 years old, doesn't he? Tasker.
Miami starting out from their 8-yard line. Yulanik the center, Sims, Galbraith at the guards, Dennison Webb at the tackles. 6:45 remaining in this first half. Pass rejected. Darryl Talley got a piece of it.
Well, we talked about the guy that should have gone to the Pro Bowl. All of his teammates believe it. Here comes Talley. Being blocked by Sims there. Now watch. Times it perfectly. The ball is thrown. He gets up in the air, knocks the ball away. Almost knocked it back at Bruce Smith. Talley's telling Smith, now look, when I hit the ball back to you like that, I want you to cut it to the end zone right behind Marino. The ball hits you right in the hands, you got touchdown.
And Marino now one of his last 5 as a 2nd and 10 from the 8. Buffalo 7 and Miami nothing. Marino going the middle and a beautiful catch made. Mark Clayton on the reception. Leonard Smith, the strong safety, hauled him down. It went for 43.
I'm so glad O.J., where is he? Tell us about how worried Clayton was about his knees. I mean, that is a perfect pass. Watch where Marino puts this ball. There's just no chance to defend against it. He puts the ball up high enough over the linebacker Colin in front of Hagee, and then Clayton does the rest. Leonard Smith is chasing. Williams is there, Odoms is there, but they get the ball into Bill's territory. Perfect pass.
Fourth catch of the day for Clayton. And a first down at midfield. Marino off the roll. And that is complete. Tony Martin on the reception, covered by James Williams, went for 13. Tony Martin was a starter in the absence of Clayton when Clayton was on IR.
Play action. Now take a look at it. When Marino runs that play action, Williams is way off. Martin knows exactly where he's going. That side of the field, going away from this press box, is really slippery on the other side of the field, all the way up and down.
Miami, first down at the Buffalo 36, 5.5 remaining in this first half. Sammy Smith. Check that, Mark Logan on the carry. Short pickup. Now let's go back to Bob Costas and NFL Live.
All right, Marv, Warren Moon off that great passing performance a week ago in Kansas City goes up top here to Haywood Jeffries for a 21-yard touchdown. Houston has the lead at Cincinnati in the second quarter, 10-6.
All right, Bob, second down and 9. Intended for Clayton. Covered by Clifford Hicks. Mark Clayton with that 39-inch vertical leap. Talking with him yesterday during the Dolphin workout, I asked him about the story that made the rounds in college during his days at Louisville, that he once jumped lengthwise over a ping pong table. Claims it's true, Paul.
Yeah, but it was folded up.
Yes. Now, kids, don't try that at home.
Yeah.
It is a third down and 9 at the 35. Just under 5 minutes to go. First half. And Marino was almost intercepted by the quarterback, Nate Odoms. The pass intended for Mark Duper.
Oh, this is excellent coverage by Nate Odoms. Watch this. Duper's going across, but the ball is thrown a little bit behind. Watch Odoms. He closes. He's there. Almost makes the interception. Duper, Mark, you didn't have a chance at that ball.
And the 4th and 9, Roby comes on. He will punt from midfield. Al Edwards back at his 10. Reggie Roby had some problems earlier in the season and then came on. Edwards lets it go. And the Dolphins able to down it. A 34-yard punt. The ball is being placed down at the 1. We'll be back in a moment.
Just a little holiday reminder. Keep your edge with Sharps from Miller. A breakthrough non-alcoholic brew with real beer taste.
1874, the first transatlantic cable connecting Ireland and America. It was made by Siemens. That was then. This is now. Today, Siemens makes telephone switches that handle 1 million calls in a single hour, carry voice, text, and data on a single phone line. And at 23 research sites in America, the people of Siemens are developing technologies to connect us all to the future. Siemens, precision thinking.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, that's that new Chevy. It's an APV.
An AP who?
Yeah, it's a code. Top secret. We're talking adjustable composite panels. See that? Zero gravity modular seats.
Oh, yeah?
Resilient Luster-Cuff polyurea fenders, and it's got this...
Chevy Luna APV. A very original way more people are winning with the heartbeat.
Biorhythms.
Biorhythm?
Yeah.
Now it's easy to win with the heartbeat.
The Bills. The Redskins. Mr. Smith goes to Washington. Out. Next Sunday.
In a moment, Kent Hull will put his hand on the ball and snap it to quarterback Frank Reich. Hull was telling us yesterday when he sets the ball, kind of spins it so he can feel the engraved commissioner's autograph. This point he told the quarterback, he said in his USFL days, he'd close his eyes and he'd feel USFL Commissioner Harry Usher's name pointed in the right direction. Thurman Thomas on a short pickup. Now with Paul Tagliabue, I would think that you could feel the T in Tagliabue, right? And the long name might make it a little bit more easier for Ken Hull.
Well, you know, and it'd also be a lot easier, too, if you just looked down.
Yeah.
I mean, if the name's only on one part of the ball. Just look down and see what the name is and turn around.
You know, you mentioned that to Ken yesterday. He said, you know, I never thought of that.
See, it's facing this way, right to the quarterback.
Second down, 8. Number 3. Buffalo with a 7-0 lead. Touchdown pass from Wright to Lofton. Nice cut. And Thurman Thomas making a bit more out of that than you would have thought as it developed. John Offerdahl on the stop.
But the thing that makes Thurman Thomas so good and lead the league is watch Thurman Thomas's legs. They do not stop moving. Watch his feet. Always turning, always moving, always going upfield, getting his shoulders square. His legs never stop.
68 yards on 11 carries for Thurman Thomas. Had a big one against Miami here in Buffalo last year. 148 yards on the ground. 3rd down and 2 from the 9. As we approach 3 minutes remaining in this first half. Thomas on a stutter step, gunning for the first down. A reminder at the end of today's broadcast, McDonald's and NBC will be announcing the Ronald McDonald Children's Charities Player of the game.
This ball has to get just over the 11 to be a first down. That is not a first down. It's going to miss it by just a little bit.
The NFL's professor of coaches, Marv Levy, has a master's degree in English history from Harvard.
Just by a little bit. See, I don't know what a little bit is. That's a little bit. See that guy? Those 2 fingers there, that's a little bit. And you just don't take any chances down there. You kick the ball away. I mean, you're at the 11-yard line. Hey, here's some people out there booing. No, sir. You don't want to give Miami the ball down in this territory. There's 3:03 to remaining.
So it is 4th and a little bit. And Rick Booten-Tooten will punt from his end zone to Tony Martin, who's out at midfield. Martin in the past has had some fumble difficulties. Fair catch. And Miami gets it back, a 42-yard punt by Tooten. Penalty flag has been thrown.
They're clapping down there, so it looks like it's against Buffalo, and I would make him kick it again. Even though you do have good field position at the 48, anything can happen on a kick. We'll see if they make him kick it again. Push him back. I would. Why not? Anything can happen on a bad day like this, and it moves the ball half the distance. We'll put it back just outside the 5 and make Tooten kick again.
Holding. Number 63 on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. It'll be 4th down.
That's the center, Adam Lingner. If it's, in fact, 63, I thought he said, but there's 53s out there. That's Patton, the backup linebacker.
And so they will punt again, and Tooten is now deep in his end zone. Martin moves up to the 45-yard line. 2:45 remaining in the first half. Buffalo 7 and Miami nothing. Big rush and a good punt. Here's Tony Martin on the return. A 52-yard punt by Tooten.
Picked up 4 extra yards.
2:32 remaining in this first half. We'll be right back.
It's Chevrolet Geo winter time, where everyone can win with the most fuel-efficient line of cars and trucks in America.
Sir, what's your favorite color?
Medium Quasar Blue Metallic.
Good guess. You can win with cash back or low financing on any Geo. Tracker, Storm, Prism.
Miss, come here often?
I've never even bought a new car before.
Well, then you can win with a first-time buyer bonus on any Geo.
I love this Metro.
I can tell.
Get to know Geo during wintertime at your Chevy Geo dealer.
Share the fantasy. Cement number 5.
Here's a thought. How can you cut your heating bill by 12%? Go from 72 to 68 degrees. Simple. Let's put our energy into saving it.
Christmas, marked by Santas, holly, and the welcome presence of Alka-Seltzer. Fast relief of heartburn with headache, accompanied by jingling bellies. Alka-Seltzer, the other holiday tradition.
This Christmas, put a little extra excitement into your day. Isaiah. Air. A Christmas tale you won't forget.
Quick check of the 10-minute ticker. Dallas wins today. They would clinch a wild card spot. Houston leads Cincinnati. Bubby Brister has thrown for 4. Chicago with the lead. Atlanta over the Rams, and the Jets in front of New England. First down at the 48-yard line. Mark Logan getting the call. Mark Logan, back from a knee injury in his 4th season out of Kentucky, stopped by the strong safety Leonard Smith. He went for 5. It's a second down and 5, and now Miami goes to the no huddle. They'll do it from time to time. Logan fell down.
You know, again, they know that side of the field from the hash marks out is slippery. Don't run that way. Come back the other way. It's a 2-minute warning.
So, with 2 minutes remaining in this first half, we'll take a break. Happy holidays from Rich Stadium in Buffalo.
The bustle of the season can wear a body down. You need a place, an oasis to bring yourself around. Break from the pace, take 5 from the race. You know the one, McDonald's.
It's Holiday Shopper Survival Days at McDonald's. Take a break where the welcome's warm, the food's hot, and the service is fast.
McDonald's for food, folks, and fun.
It's Holiday Shopper Survival Days at McDonald's.
This is no night for weak batteries.
Got enough energy to pull us through, Rudolph?
That's why you should test all your batteries with a new copper top tester. A little present. Only from Duracell.
At Northwest, a free flight is as easy as 1, 2, 3. The more you fly, the better it gets. Earn free flights to terrific sites. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. For details, call Northwest or your travel agent today. Important conditions apply.
The only score, 7-yard touchdown pass from Reich to Lofton. Buffalo 7, Miami nothing. 2 minutes remaining in this first half. For those of you who missed NFL Live, Phil Simms told Bob Costas that he hasn't been told much about how long his injured foot will sideline him. Jim Kelly, also a guest on the program, said he expects to be back from his knee injury in time for Buffalo's playoff games. That would be the divisional playoff. And Will McDonough said that New England would use its #1 pick on Notre Dame junior Rocket Ishmael if he enters the draft next spring. Coming up at halftime, it'll be Bob, Wilt, and O.J. O.J. joining us here in Buffalo. 3rd down and 4 at the 42. 4 wideouts for the Dolphins. And And Marino completes for the first down. Again, it's Clayton, stopped by Hicks. So a big first half for Clayton. That is 5th catch of the day.
You know, we saw Marino in Washington. It really did not look well throwing the ball, but when he has Clayton and Duper together, he really has the confidence in his wide receiver.
On the first down play, the reception made by Jensen. Darryl Talley on the coverage. Good diving catch by Jensen. Dolphins in the hurry up. 2nd down and 3 from the 29. Flag is thrown, and it's incomplete.
Bruce Smith was offside. Now, I don't know, he's signaling somebody moved, but he was in the backfield. The ball was snapped, and it's against Bruce. But if Webb moves, that's what Bruce is talking about. He said, wait a minute. I wouldn't be that far. It's against Buffalo. Bruce. Now, actually, Webb does move.
Defense, outside the right end, first down.
The worst part about it is he still didn't get to Marino.
And Miami, off that penalty, first down at the 24, minute 21 remaining. In this first half, Marino now 11 for 18, 128 yards, but nothing on the board. Again, a flag thrown, and it is picked off. Clifford Hicks on the interception. Pass intended from Mark Clayton. Now let's see what this flag is all about. Clifford Hicks, in his 4th year, out of Oregon, a one-time Los Angeles Ram. They waived him several weeks back. They'll sign him as a free agent. Obviously, the call against Miami. So Buffalo stopping the Dolphin drive on that interception, and they will take over.
All right, now Marino, when he throws this ball, first of all, they're in a hurry-up offense, which I don't understand. They have 3 timeouts. Now Marino's throwing. Hicks just makes the turn. The ball is thrown behind. He makes a super interception. Clayton has the presence of mind to get down on Hicks and stop him from getting up to get downfield. But the thing about it is that where the ball is thrown, Marino is upset. He said that Clayton is held right here and there. Illegal contact downfield, I guess you can call that. But Hicks makes a great play turning back into the ball. The ball was right in his hands.
11th time this season that Marino has been intercepted. Clifford Hicks, a backup defensive back, with his first interception of the season. So it will be Buffalo ball from their 7-yard line, and they'll go double tight end, Keith McKellar and Pete Metzelaars. Well, next Saturday here on NBC, a special afternoon of NFL action beginning at noon Eastern time with NFL Live with Bob and Will, plus O.J. Simpson going one-on-one with Bears head coach Mike Ditka. Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears from the Windy City. That's next Saturday at noon Eastern time right here, NBC. And Marino, 11 for 19. He has hit 6 different receivers. His favorite target, though, has been Mark Clayton. He was picked off just a moment ago.
Here's where the Dolphins, if the Buffalo Bills just try to run the clock out, Miami still has 3 timeouts, so they can actually stop the clock and force the Bills into a punting situation.
Now the Bills to the line, and at 14 remaining in this first half. Thurman Thomas picked up a couple. Stopped by Cliff Odom. At Bills front line with Hull at center, Richer and Davis at the guards, Ballard and Wolford at the tackles. 71 yards, 13 carries for Thurman Thomas. 2nd down and 8 from the 9.
I don't understand why the Miami Dolphins are not taking the timeout here. They'll take one after this play, but they have 3 of them. They're letting the clock run down. The Bills are letting it run down. There's 15 on the clock. They'll get it down inside 30 seconds. And still with 3 timeouts, it's wasted.
And it's Thomas again, off the give. Clock still running, and now timeout is taken. So it stopped with 17 seconds to go in the half.
I don't understand it. I really don't. With 3 timeouts, because you could take them down to 4th down and make a punt. They lost 45 to 50 seconds off the clock. And now it's 17 seconds. They still have 2 timeouts. It's 3rd down. I understand it. But the Bills are going to run another play.
When we resume, it's a 3rd down and 5 at the 12. There's Frank Reich, the understudy, making his way to Broadway. Reich did start 3 games last year, guided the Bills to victory in each game, including the appearance against Miami, where he threw only 9 times. He was the starter at Maryland as a senior, although he was slowed for part of the season with a shoulder injury. Spent most of his collegiate career backing up Boomer Esiason. He was Boomer's roommate at Maryland. I asked Frank if he and Boomer talked during the course of the week. He said yes. And Boomer said, just go out and do what you've been doing. Of course, what he's been doing has been taking place at practice most of the time. Off the handoff, Thurman Thomas picking his way as we run down to 10 seconds. And again, a timeout is taken. Reich also told us, yes, he's excited about the starting opportunity, but he just liked to step into the scene and get out and just ride Jim Kelly, as he put it, right to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he said, I can't wait till Jim gets back. Most guys you talk to, you know, they always say, well, you know, I want my opportunity. I'm the kind of guy that wants to get in. I can play because I think I can move the team. Even last year when he took over, he said, I know I'm only here for a short period of time until Jim Kelly comes back. This is Jim Kelly's football team. There's Reich and Kelly standing next to each other. And he said, as soon as Jim comes back, that's fine with me. I know what my position is. I know what I stand. And that's one of the things that helps Frank mentally, because he knows the position he's in. Of course, Jim Kelly is a $20 million quarterback also.
And that leads to less hassle if it's a guy behind the starter who feels he's the equal, as Tootin punts from inside his 5. Martin calling for a fair catch. Penalty marker is thrown. When the backup quarterback is close in ability, at least in his own head, or perhaps that could be the case, that's where you get the controversy. Here, it's clear cut. There's no question.
Yeah, I mean, there's no qualms at all. I mean, everybody understands, and Reich understands it. But I think the interesting thing that Marv Levy told us yesterday, and we had it in the opening today, that the fact that this is not Jim Kelly's offense. This is an offense that both Reich and Kelly, and also Gail Gilbert, who is the 3rd quarterback, now the 2nd quarterback, understand.
Number 35 of the receivers, post possession, 1st down at 10.
That's Kerry Glenn, called on the penalty with 3 seconds remaining in the half.
I just don't understand the use of the timeouts in that last series for the Miami Dolphins. I really don't. This one, you just throw the ball to the end zone, 3 seconds to go.
Miami at its 33-yard line.
What's the all week long, everybody's talking about weather. We did a thing on the equipment. Weather's not been a factor here today so far.
Well, you're indoors in a press box. The window is closed, Paul. You're wearing 8 coats and a couple of pair of gloves as Marino fires into a crowd, and it's broken up.
Is that why it's warm up here?
And there's a heater right behind you.
Oh.
James Pruitt, the intended receiver. That's the end of the first half. It's the Bills 7 and the Dolphins nothing. Now to Bob Costas. Let's go back to New York for NFL Live. Bob?
Okay, we welcome those of you watching the Patriots play the Jets and the Dolphins and the Bills. Bob Costas along with Will McDonough, and shortly we'll check with O.J. Simpson, who's along the sidelines at Rich Stadium. First, though, to the scoreboard. In the game most of you are watching, Buffalo with the halftime lead, 7-0. Reich, a 7-yard touchdown pass to James Lofton. Each team had scoring opportunities. Pete Stoyanovich missed a 28-yard field goal for Miami, only his third miss of the season. Reich fumbled the ball at the Miami 23 in the first quarter. Andre Reed had an apparent touchdown reception bounce right off his chest later in that period, so it's just 7-0 in favor of Buffalo with their record of 12-2 over the 11-3 Dolphins. Dallas is playing in Philadelphia. Troy Aikman separated his right shoulder, replaced by Babe Loffenberg. This is important for Dallas. 4-game winning streak, record of 7-7. They've got a crack at that last wild card. Philadelphia is assured a wild card. The Redskin defeat in miraculous fashion last night as Indianapolis caught them at the wire at the Hoosier Dome has really helped Philadelphia's prospects. If they can win their last 2 games, they'd be assured of home field against Washington in that first-round wild card game. Houston and Cincinnati. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from that one. The last time the Oilers visited Riverfront Stadium, they were blasted 61-7. Here's Warren Moon coming off that great performance a week ago in Kansas City, and he gets busy right away, tossing this 21-yarder to Hayward Jeffries, puts the Oilers up 10-0. But Cincinnati comes back, and James Brooks had a big first half. Here he takes the handoff, turns the corner, and gains 44 yards before he's knocked out of bounds at the 3. He didn't get in, but Ickey Woods would just a few plays later. In he goes, powering through people. They missed the extra point. It was 10-6. And then later, it's Brooks again. Over 100 yards rushing for him in the first half alone. This one, a 56-yard touchdown. Throw in a couple of field goals, 1 for each team. And here's your score as they come up on halftime tied at 13 apiece. Cleveland is playing in Pittsburgh. You cannot overstate how bad the Cleveland Browns are. They have lost 5 fumbles in the first half. Jim Schaffner, the interim coach, watching things go from bad to worse. Each of the first 3 snaps in the game, they lost the ball on fumbles. This is Mike Pagel filling in for the injured Bernie Kosar. Pittsburgh gets it. Bubby Brister immediately capitalizes. He rolls right. He heaves it into the end zone for the touchdown to Mike Malarkey. We're not talking about the first 3 possessions. We're talking about the first 3 snaps. Cleveland loses the ball. Eric Metcalf, who had 2 fumbles in the first half, loses this one. Pittsburgh is all over it. Chris Callaway then will catch a touchdown pass. The 4th-round draft choice, rookie out of Michigan, makes the inside move, gone for the touchdown. Brister threw 4 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Malarkey, 1 to Callaway, another to Merrill Hodge. Here's yet another fumble. Kevin Mack is the culprit here, and Pittsburgh comes up with it. So 3 straight times they had the ball in the first quarter at the 20 or closer. Brister with 4 TD passes all told in the first half. Then Warren Williams had a 1-yard touchdown run. It was only a year ago that Cleveland early in the season beat the Steelers 51-0. 35-0 Pittsburgh in this one. Steelers will win the AFC Central with this apparent victory if they can beat the Houston Oilers on the final weekend of the regular season, a big if. Chicago, with their record of 10-4, but they've lost 2 in a row, with the lead at home, 14-7. They've gone to halftime at Soldier Field. Mike Tomczak for Jim Harbaugh. Tomczak with a 1-yard touchdown run and an 18-yard TD pass to Wendell Davis. Atlanta trying to snap a 7-game losing streak, leading at home over the Rams, 20-10. New England has lost 12 in a row. They're playing the Jets, who have lost 5 straight. Jets lead at home, the game some of you are watching. Halftime in the Meadowlands, 21-7. Willie?
Well, I think in Buffalo, Bob, the story really so far is Thurman Thomas. You know, he's rushed for almost 6 yards a carry. The thing that separates the 2 teams is the Bills have been able to control the ball a little bit on the ground and take some of the pressure off of Frank Reich, where on the Miami side, Marino has almost had to be the whole show.
All right, we're going to go to the sidelines right now in Buffalo, and we'll go to O.J. Simpson. Juice, your thoughts on this first half?
Well, it's been a great first half. You know, I want to comment on something Marv Albert said earlier. You know, there was a big fight between Bruce Smith and the tight end McCullough. But, you know, those things happen. It was an emotional week leading up to an emotional game, and they had a little altercation. I think it's to the credit of the Bills that nobody will talk about it. They said it didn't happen. I think that's because of they're sensitive to the old bickering Bill title. They don't want to go back to that reputation. But in the first half, running up into the tunnel with Frank Reich, he says everything is working. We can do everything. Thurman Thomas says, I want the ball. We can run on these guys all day. And Mark Clayton says he feels great. As I said, Marino was very happy that Mark Clayton was able to play after 5 weeks, and he's been going to him, I think, 5 times in the first half for big yardage.
Okay, OJ, we'll check with you later in the day, and we'll be sending things back very shortly to Buffalo or to the Meadowlands, depending upon which game you're watching for the second half. But halftime here on NBC will continue with an additional segment right after this.
Hi, my name is John Offerdahl of the Miami Dolphins, and this is my wife, Lynn.
And over there is Miami, a city of contrast. It's a beautiful city, and Miamians are people with the courage and compassion to solve their problems.
That's where the United Way comes in. We're here with some of the big brothers and big sisters of Miami, a United Way supported agency. Mitch's little brother, Louis, came to Miami 9 years ago. The future for Louis could have been one on the streets, with drugs, crime, and violence. But he was lucky because he found a big brother. Louis has learned English, he's going to school, and he's got someone to give him guidance, and a special love that bonds big and little brothers and sisters.
Lynn and I have joined this program, and we want kids to have a chance. In the NFL, we do more than just play football. We get involved in our community. And the United Way is more than the best way to give and to care. The United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
The many faces of Sally Field.
That sounds like Sybil, actually.
And for the first time, the kids of Sonny Von Bulow speak out.
It's a blatant exploitation of our mother's person.
About their reversal of fortune. All that plus sex, lies, and videotape star Andy McDowell on First Person with Maria Shriver. Tonight at 8.
It was a week after Christmas, and everyone was down. They didn't think a good deal could be found. Humbug. It's wintertime at your Chevy dealer.
And you win savings on Chevrolet trucks. Year-end cash back up to $1,000. Added dealer discounts on good-looking S10 and full-size pickups Blazers. You win at Good Neighbors Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Hark, did I hear carolers?
Don't you buy no ugly truck.
Like you, your car has a heart, the engine. And like the human heart, it has valves where deposits can form. The right diet can make a difference. Fill up with Mobile Super Unleaded Plus. Its advanced detergent formula can unclog vital engine parts. For power and performance, get Mobile Super Unleaded Plus and drive your engine clean.
Tune in for Goal to Go and Sports Extra today on Channel 2.
Welcome back to NFL Live at halftime. Switching gears here for a moment from football to the NBA and the area of blatant promotion. We have an extra Christmas present for you Tuesday here on NBC as the world champion Detroit Pistons take on Michael Jordan and the Bulls at Chicago Stadium. The holiday festivities begin at 3 o'clock Eastern Time with NBA Showtime, at which time Pat Riley and I will renew what promises to be another storied rivalry in hardwood lore. Yes, we'll continue our season-long shooting competition. Of course, all true fans know that this matchup had its origin in this very studio just over a month ago. Now, of course, if you don't get the break, you've got to pull up for the jumper. We're not going to let this hoop behind us go to waste. We get one shot per show for the entire year, each of us. Then we'll see who's ahead at year's end. Ready? Watch. Right? No! No! Come on, let's go. We don't have time. But I can't shoot my high arcer. The studio lights are in the way. Oh, what the lights! But you got to shoot it flat. You got to go with the Tommy Heinsohn line drive jumper. So, Riley leads 1-0, but there's a lot of basketball left, folks, and the stakes are extremely high. The loser must wear his hair in the winner's style at the NBA Finals, and I do not plan on sporting that slick back look. Just one of the many subplots coming your way on Christmas Day at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Scintillating programming, I'm sure you'll agree. For now, back to football as the NFL on NBC continues.
George Walter's life is about to change.
Are you from out of state?
I'm from another planet. Now.
You've got to be here for Christmas.
They'll show a town of disbelievers.
I believe you.
We are building you a landing pad.
That miracles can happen.
Count on it. The best holiday ever.
Richard Mulligan, Beau Bridges. Guess who's coming for Christmas on NBC tonight?
If you've waited for added cash back, if you've waited for deeper discounts, if you've waited for the no-holds-barred best time to buy best-selling Chevrolet cars, this is it. Winter time. Year-end cash back up to $1,000. Year-end dealer discounts. But you must hurry. The waiting is over at your good neighbor Chevrolet Geo dealers.
See their stories when your country calls Tuesday at 6:30 on Channel 2.
Welcome back to Buffalo, where the Bills lead the Dolphins by the score of 7-0 at halftime. The only touchdown of the first half, Frank Reich capping off a 13-play drive and a 7-yard pass to the veteran James Lofton.
It's just a great play, you know, but the Lofton went down, avoided the linebacker, got beyond McCire, bang, touchdown. Reich looks good. He's, again, you know, talking to Reich, and we're talking about the Buffalo Bills. This is not a Kelly offense. It's a Buffalo Bill offense. And Reich is doing exactly what he told us that he wanted to do. I don't want to hurt this football team. I'm not going to try to do anything spectacular. I'm just going to go out there and do what this game dictates, and that's exactly what they've been doing.
He did cough one up early on that long drive the Bills had going, but the stat line looks good. Reich 9 for 13, 121 yards, the one touchdown. Dan Marino 11 for 20, 128 yards. Mark Clayton in a return today with 5 catches, and Thurman Thomas accounting for 77 yards on the ground. And Miami has been a club that the opposition has been able to run against in recent weeks.
There's just no question about it. They have, and the Buffalo Bills think that they can run against this football team. The interesting thing when you look at these stats, you see how close they are. Now you and I sat around and matched up these two teams, and when you match them up offensively and defensively, almost every category is a few yards off here and there. Nobody really is the favorite on it. But the most important thing about it, the only real striking difference in these two teams is that the Buffalo Bills have outscored in 14 games the Miami Dolphins by 91 points. And that's the only real big difference in this whole thing as far as the Miami Dolphins are concerned.
I'm wondering, though, what does that stat mean? Because it depends who you're playing against, quality of opposition.
But exactly, because these two teams have really played the same teams. They played the Giants. They played everybody in their division twice. I mean, this is the second time for these guys here, except that the Miami still has to play Indianapolis, I believe. But what it tells me is this, that the Buffalo Bills in 14 games are outscoring the Miami Dolphins by 6 points, right? Mm-hmm. They got them by 7-0 right here. Is this the way this game's going to end? No, it's not going to end that way.
And you still feel that the weather will be a factor, or are you wiping that out?
It's not a factor. I looked up there. It's getting a little dark, Marv. But it's not a factor up here where we are, because if it really gets bad, we're going to close the window.
Well, it is now 33 degrees. They say they're expecting rain and some snow later on, but we have not seen any signs of snow. A little bit on the nippy side, but Paul, I know you have been very comfortable right throughout the first half.
I don't have all the clothes on you said I had either.
The Miami Dolphins come in at 11-3. This is Miami's first winning season since back in 1987. That was an 8-7 record in a strike-shortened year. Their 3 losses to the Giants. They were strangled by the Giants defensively, lost 13-10 to the Raiders, blown out at Washington. That made the Dolphins a club that was suspect. However, they bounced back with a victory over the Eagles, while Buffalo 12-2, their 2 losses taking place in Houston and early at Miami. Miami must beat Buffalo to have a chance to win the division title. A Buffalo win would clinch the division championship for the Bills and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They would get a first-round bye in the expanded playoffs, which the Bills would love, in particular with Jim Kelly out of action, because he would not be available should the Bills have to play a wild card. It would be the following week in the divisional situation.
And that's the most important thing that they're talking about, Marv, is getting Jim Kelly back.
And here's the kickoff by Scott Norwood. And it's muffed. Recovered by Buffalo. Mark Logan had difficulty with it, and the Bills able to cover.
You know, I told you at the beginning about a turnover in a ball game, and this is crucial. The Buffalo Bills get the ball. It's what they do at the turnover now. But you have got to come up on the ball. Logan that time got to get a handle on the ball. You can't make a critical error like this right at the beginning of the half or any other time in the ball game. The Bills believe, they still say they have the ball. We have a signal from the officials saying that they have the ball. The Dolphins don't believe it.
Official indication that the Bills have recovered, and it was Dwight Drain, 5-year man out of Oklahoma, a native of Miami, born and raised in Miami, who was able to cover up after this muff.
Actually, Carlton Bailey is the first guy that gets the ball, but they say the ball comes out, and Drain ends up with the ball. How he gets it, remains to be seen.
All right, first down at the Miami 32 as we open up in the third quarter. Here's Thomas. And he was able to break a couple of tackles along the way. Run out by Odom.
Now, the first 7 times that Thurman Thomas carried the ball, he went to his left. Now they're coming back to the right. Here's the blocking. McKellar is there. Ballard is there. Missed tackle was there, and we saw that in the Washington game an awful lot with the Miami Dolphins missed tackles.
He picked up 8, second down and 2 at the 24. Peavy is flanked to the left. Here's Thomas. Not able to pick up the first down. Stopped by the nose tackle, Sean Lee. Lee emerging as the starting nose tackle in his 3rd year out of North Alabama. There he is, number 98, acquired from Atlanta just before the start of the season. And apparently they spotted it for a first down. He was pushed back the other way. So Thomas did pick it up. It is a first down at the 22.
And the Bills, I think, might start that hurry up again because they've got 3 wide receivers in the ball game, along with the tight end McKellar and the 1 running back Thurman Thomas.
Lofton is to the left. Here's Thomas. Thurman Thomas getting inside the 20-yard line. Again, Cliff Odom on the stop. Cliff Odom, the Dolphins' 2nd leading tackler, who's played very well, has had his name called on a number of occasions today. 91 yards, 18 carries for Thurman Thomas. Second down and 7. 2 minutes gone by in the 3rd. Thomas trying to surge for the marker. Offerdahl with the tackle on Thomas.
The thing that's it's not surprising is take a look at the Buffalo Bills. This is all one-on-one blocking. They're blocking to the inside. This time they're going down to the side of John Davis and Howard Ballard, number 65 and 75, along with Ken Hall. But these plays are being run between the tackle and the guard.
It's a 3rd and 1, and Jamie Mueller has come on along with Don Smith. Bills packed in tight. And it's a first down for Smith. J.B. Brown making the stop. Don Smith, a very valuable player for the Bills, an unsung hero in his 4th year out of Mississippi State.
All right, here's the line blocking. Again, they would look at Ken Hall is right there. He just destroys Sean Lee, who is the nose tackle, and he stays in there. They block out on the linebacker, and here's Ken. You can see Ken Hall on 98, Sean Lee. Once that happens, the hole opens up, and it's a first down.
First down at the 11, right for the end zone. Reed, touchdown.
Puts this pass right on target. Now there's a flag in the end zone.
Demonstration, number 83, after the touchdown, the 5-yard penalty on the kickoff.
Unsportsmanlike conduct after the touchdown. Okay, but it is a touchdown. Okay, Brown is out there covering along with Jarvis Williams, number 26. And look where this ball was thrown, right into the hands of Andre Reed. No chance for anyone else to get the ball. That is a perfect pass by Frank Reich.
Andre Reed with a 2nd catch of the day leads the AFC with 69 receptions, his 8th touchdown of the season. And Norwood puts it through. Andre Reed, though, had been very quiet in recent years against the Miami Dolphins. He's put up 6 on the board. 11:51 to go in the third, and Buffalo has extended its lead.
No matter where you look, there's Mazda. We're introducing new products like the Miata, setting new sales records, winning the respect of the automotive press, and winning awards for both quality and customer satisfaction. But most important, we're making thousands of people feel just right.
Today, a guy losing his hair can choose between being the man he wants to be
We look great with hair. Do something to save it.
and the man he could become.
Can't you accept nature like everyone else?
Doctors have hair loss treatment programs that are proven to work, and the sooner you see a doctor, the better.
We don't want nature. We want hair.
When you've considered the arguments,
We might look great bald.
and you decide you want hair, there's only one thing to do. See your doctor, or call this number for more information. Wouldn't it be great if...
You were sent a ring facing the great Garbanzo in the wrestling match of the year. And wouldn't it be great if the sponsor was a beer? A really great beer like Keystone, the fresh cold filtered beer in a can that tastes like beer in a bottle because of Keystone's specially lined can. And wouldn't it be great if Garbanzo excused himself and you left with his manager, the lovely Darlene? Cold filtered Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. By Reebok. By the Upjohn Company. If you're concerned about hair loss, see your doctor. And by cold filtered Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
Andre Reed a moment ago caught that touchdown pass set up by the muff on the kickoff by Mark Logan, and we received word from official stats that the recovery was made by Carlton Bailey. It was a combination of Bailey and Drain, and Bailey gets credit. Bailey in his third year out of North Carolina, a backup linebacker, and that led to this drive. 5 plays, 32 yards, and it's Buffalo 14 and Miami nothing. Scott Norwood with the kick. Logan getting the blocks, able to come back strong. A 36-yard return. Carwell Gardner, a second-string running back, rookie from Louisville, was able to get Logan down.
The reason this play worked for Logan is it was such a short kick, and Logan catches the ball almost in the wedge. And what happened, all he had to do was hit one little crack. The defense coming down really didn't have enough opportunity to get to him. Well, watch it. Here's the wedge right there. So he's already there. There's the whole bunch. He breaks the one tackle, gets down the sideline. Carwell Gardner makes the play, but they're at the 35-yard line.
Logan shaken up after taking the hit from Gardner.
Now, the touchdown to Andre Reed it really is pretty because of where Frank Reich puts this ball. Watch this from ground level. Look at the ball is placed on the outside shoulder. No chance for Brown to be there and no chance for Williams. Just perfect pass.
So Frank Reich connecting on his first 2 touchdown passes of this season. And for Andre Reed, it is number 8 on the year. Andre Reed headed to the Pro Bowl once again.
Logan is going to get popped out of bounds. Really don't see where he gets hurt unless rolled over on his arm.
Yeah, landed on the ball. That might have contributed to it. First down at 35. Off the screen, Sammy Smith reaches to the 31. Ray Bentley tripped him up. It'll be a second down and 5. They mark it at the 30-yard line.
Harry Galbraith wants to get in a fight with Cornelius Bennett, I think, and Shane Conlon, which is not smart. I mean, if you're going to pick on somebody, take the little guy, number 31, take him away as the defensive back. Here you go, Galbraith. He's been talking to him. They're upset, excited.
Now Duper flank to the left. Second down and 5. Here's Duper coming across. Or rather, Clayton coming across. Incomplete. Intended for Clayton. Bentley broke it up. Bentley and Talley combining on the coverage.
Well, Marino just has to unload the ball because Bruce Smith comes inside now on Sims. He comes all the way down the line. And watch it. As soon as Marino sees him, he knows he's got to get rid of the ball right now. Clayton had no chance of catching it.
Marino sacked one time today, although the Bills come in with the feeling we just have to bother Marino. We're not looking to pile up the statistics. It's what Marv Levy was talking about last night. Don't worry about those sack stats. Just want to be around them constantly. Third down, 5. And it is caught for the touchdown by Mark Duper. He beat the corner, James Williams. A 30-yard touchdown pass play. Duper with the bubble and able to hang on.
Well, you know, you're looking at a third down situation. Here's Williams on Duper. Now, watch what happens. Williams slips, I think, or steps on Duper right here. He slips to go down. The ball is hit up in the air. Duper, staying with the ball, gets a touchdown. But, you know, how many times have you seen Marino do stuff like this? You know, the Bills go down, they score, it take him almost a half to score a touchdown. Marino does it in one series of down, bang, just like that in a matter of about, 2.5 minutes, touchdown.
Mark Duper with his 5th touchdown of the season. That's a low total for Mark. It's been a bounce-back season for Duper. And here's Stoyanovich. 10:44 remaining in the third quarter here in Buffalo. It's the Bills with a 14-7 lead on the Dolphins.
Reggie, Lewis, roller coaster jam. Lewis, around the world jam. Reggie, reverse jam.
That's reverse jam.
That's Reggie Lewis.
It may have been 30 years ago, or just yesterday, a roadster caught your eye, and you've never been quite the same. The Mazda Miata. It just feels right.
You can spot someone who saved money with a second-rate antifreeze a mile away. Not all antifreeze is the same. Nothing beats Prestone. And that's something you might appreciate down the road.
I'm Mike, taxing brother nobody knows. We all shave with the same razor, Slim Twin disposable. It's got a narrow head. Like Mike. Yeah, so you can shave hard to reach places.
Men prefer it over good news. The Slim Twin disposable from Schick.
New Year's Day, the best bowls are on NBC. The Sun-Kissed Fiesta Bowl pits the Crimson Tide of Alabama, the giant killers of the SEC, against the high-flying Louisville Cardinals. Ride the tide at the Sun-Kissed Fiesta Bowl. New Year's Day, NBC is the place to be.
Welcome back to Buffalo with Paul McGuire, Marv Albert. Buffalo 14, Miami 7. Early in the third quarter. And Pete Stoyanovich getting set to kick it off to Don Smith and Al Edwards. We're receiving word that Troy Stratford pulled a leg muscle, and he will not return. So Stratford is out the rest of the way. This is Al Edwards. Across the 20. Accelerates. Oh, tremendous run back by Edwards, a rookie from Northwest Louisiana State, an 11th round draft pick. He went for 45, but there is a flag thrown.
It'll be holding against Buffalo back at the 25-yard line. Drive you crazy on kickoff returns, punt returns, all the returns, and you get an excellent return and holding or clipping.
Holding during the run back. Number 94, the receivers. First down at 10.
That's Pike, number 94. All right, it's on Pike, number 94. He's on the right of the screen, and he went out of the frame. He's on the right. There's Pike right there to the right, and he's holding, but there's been worse. There's been worse.
He was relatively holding.
Yeah.
The kicker, Stoyanovich, made the stop on the return man, Edwards. First down from the 19. And Wright completes to the tight end, McKellar. It is the first down. Hugh Green on the stop of Keith McKellar in his third year out of Jacksonville State. 23-yard advance.
All right, Hugh Green is coming out the cover, but I don't think that's his man. Jarvis Williams, number 26, does not get there. He'll come into the picture, or does he get into the picture? But he was the guy that was behind McKellar, was supposed to be covering him. There's just no way that Hugh Green is going to stay with McKellar.
We mentioned earlier, following practice yesterday, McKellar involved in a skirmish with Bruce Smith. Thurman Thomas, the ball carrier. Again, it's Hugh Green making the stop. The early report, which was denied, was that Smith broke his hand in the process taking a punch at McKellar. The legend of the bickering Bills had been left in the dust early this season. You recall the problems of a year ago where players were going at each other. A couple of assistant coaches got into a little duke out. And it had been quiet up until yesterday. Thomas on the delay, and he's hit for a loss.
For Dolph. But, tensions.
Boys will be boys. Is that what you're indicating here?
Well, a little, yeah, but, you get near the end now. This game is so important. I mean, for Buffalo, they win. They win the AFC East. Home field advantage throughout. I mean, there's a lot of things are happening.
Can you recall a couple of good ones in your day?
No, just with wives. I mean, guys sitting there, they wouldn't hit each other. They liked each other too much.
All going the sexist route. Third down and 6. Right with the time, and then unload. Don Beebe. Hitting McKyer and Williams on a 44-yard hookup.
This is a 44-yard hookup. Line, watch what happens. You have a 3-man rush. Here comes Beebe down across the field. He's getting Jarvis Williams. McKyer's there. This ball is underthrown, number 1. The most important part is that Frank Wright had all day to throw the football. With a 3-man rush, they never got close to him.
Now, Beebe came in with only 8 receptions. That is third of the day. He has the advantage of working regularly in practice with Wright. They're also very good buddies. Here's Thomas picking his way, works inside the 5. And Beebe and Reich have had success in the past, so Don Beebe is suddenly a prominent receiver with Frank Reich in a quarterback rather than Jim Kelly.
Well, one of the reasons, too, is they were on the practice squads together, and they always threw the ball to Beebe. All right, take a look at Reich. Now, look at the time he has. I mean, you could pick out anybody you want, and then he just sees Beebe, and ball is underthrown because McKyer is way behind. Jarvis Williams can't get there, and Beebe, total concentration on the ball.
It's a second down and 3. Thomas. Herman Thomas has gone over the 100-yard mark, 107 yards.
No, when you were talking about Frank Reich and Beebe, and he was talking about Beebe in the game against the Giants when he threw the ball like 3 or 4 in a row to Beebe to get down to get the field goal to give him the winner in the ball game. Reich is talking about Beebe on practice days when they run the other team's offense. Frank Reich and Beebe were on, what do they call them, the scout teams, and he had practice all year long throwing the ball to Beebe, and he's very comfortable throwing it to him.
It is a third down and 2. That's the 3. Right with the look, and it's dropped. James Lofton involved with Louis Oliver. Oliver had the wraps on Lofton. In fact, grabbed his arms, and Lofton could not hang on.
Here's the field goal team coming on, but that time Oliver, I mean, it looked like a tussle, and Lofton only had a chance to get one arm at it. Now look at Reich. He is looking at Lofton the entire way, not looking anywhere else. Lofton's there, with one hand on it. Now Oliver strips him. Now Lofton pushes Oliver. I mean, these guys are too skinny to be hurting you. Get some linemen in there.
And it will be a 21-yard attempt for Scott Norwood, his first field goal attempt of the day, a 4th down and 2, and the Bills go for the field goal. Norwood is 19 for 28 for the season. Make it 20 for 29 as he extends the Buffalo lead with 6:25 remaining in the third.
For naming the Mazda MPV best in class, we'd like to thank Car and Driver. For ranking it the most trouble-free minivan, J.D. Power & Associates. For naming it one of the top 10 import buys, Motor Trend. And for making the Mazda MPV the best-selling import minivan, we'd like to thank the Abbotts, the Ackermans, the Adisheks, the Aggermans,
Mazda, it just feels right.
the Altons, the Ammermans, the Andersons.
Jerry comes in every Saturday. Last week he wants copper pipe and solder. Now I know Jerry, so I say don't forget to shine the joints before you flux. And he says flux, so I told him to call me if he hit a snag. I think he called 11 times.
Good service is why people choose a place like Evers Hardware Store, and why places like Evers Hardware choose USF&G Insurance and their independent agents.
USF&G is standing behind me. I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors shining through. Don't be afraid to let them show.
Catch the true colors of the season on Kodacolor Gold Film.
The ratings gap is shrinking. It's closer than ever. Join the switch to Bob Costas, Will McDonough, and O.J. Simpson. NFL Live on NBC.
The Bills over the Dolphins 17-7. Miami has been a good come-from-behind club, which you'd expect with Dan Marino at the helm. However, 2 of those comebacks against weaker opposition, New England and the Jets, but an impressive performance against the Philadelphia Eagles several weeks ago. Again, a short kick. Stephon Adams, former Raider and Brown, took that hard hit as he crossed the 25-yard line. And again, the hit by Carwell Gardner. Well, look at the Hertz 10-minute ticker. Philadelphia leading Dallas in the third. Houston with the lead on Cincinnati. Bubby Brister has thrown for 4, and it's Pittsburgh 35-0. Chicago leads Tampa Bay. Atlanta with the lead. Jets trying to end a 5-game losing streak. New England has lost 12 in a row. First down at the 27-yard line. And Marino goes sideline, and it's dropped. Mark Cooper could not hang on. He was covered by James Williams.
Darryl Talley is talking to Bruce Smith. They just got drilled on that top side. He's looking for a holding call. Darryl Talley went in, and he just got dropped right in his tracks.
And that is the third drop of the day by the Dolphins.
And that's the one thing that makes Marino madder than anything is when he puts the ball on target and you drop the ball, he'll go away from you. He won't come back to you for a while.
Sammy Smith had that hole open and then closed. Leon Seals able to make the stop.
I was talking about Darryl Talley before. The play before this is on the top of the screen. Just take a look at Talley now. He's going to come in and watch the block here. Bang. That's Sammy Smith just hits him, and then they just throw him into the ground. Ulenek just throws him on the ground after Smith drills him in the head.
Third down and 8 from the 29. 5.5 remaining in the third quarter here in Buffalo. The Bills 17 and the Dolphins 7.
Marino throws the middle. Incomplete. Intended for James Pruitt.
Well, actually, Clayton was coming across, and Clayton stopped on the play. He thought the ball was being thrown to someone else, so as he was coming across, Talley was with him, and in the middle of the screen, you see 56's Talley right there. Now watch Clayton. Here he is right now. He just turns around and stops.
Pass appeared to be intended for Pruitt, although Clayton, as you mentioned, was in the area. Edwards is back at his 20. Time the circle route attempted, and Edwards could not make the turn. A 52-yard punt. A good one for Reggie Roby, only a 5-yard return. We'll be back here in Buffalo after these words.
Okay, everybody, listen up.
27 million Americans are illiterate. Albert Davis was one of them.
My dear family, for all these years, I have wanted to write about what you mean to me, but I could not write.
Look for this Coors Light display. Learn how you can help. Teach someone to read.
Today, I can read.
How fast does Dristan nasal spray start working to clear up congestion?
Hey, I didn't expect it to start to work this fast.
Dristan nasal spray starts to work in seconds.
He stirs in the land of dawning. He stirs now in the age of wandering. Now on the trail of beauty, he stirs.
Introducing the new Navajo from Mazda. Motor Trend's 1991 Truck of the Year.
It just feels right. What's this? Bunny slippers?
Of all the last-minute gifts you can buy, one's appreciated more than all the rest.
Wow.
McDonald's gift certificates.
Thanks, Mom. McDonald's for holiday fun. Come on and rescue me.
Rescued from the Ratings Desert by your cards and calls. Now it's the revenge of Hull High. Back wetter and wilder on NBC tonight.
A reminder, kick off your night here on NBC with a fast-paced, high energy of Hull High, and then an NBC News special. First person with Maria Shriver as she features USC quarterback Todd Marinovich, two-time Oscar winner Sally Field, and Sex, Lies, and Videotape star Andy McDowell. That's all tonight, right here on NBC. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire from Buffalo, 32 degrees. They expect snow and rain later on. The Bills first down from their 24-yard line. And Frank Wright on the keeper, stopped by Brian Soche.
Will Warford, number 69, against Cross, number 91, and getting some help from McKellar pushes him out. You know, they not only double-team Bruce Smith, but they also double-team Cross.
Cross has been quiet in recent weeks. Hasn't had a sack for some time. Reed on the completion. Louis Oliver from the free safety position.
One of the few times the Miami Dolphins blitzed, and Reich picks it up and hits Andre Reed, the short pass across. Here comes Offerdahl up inside. You've got Oliver trying to cover Reed short. That's tough duty. And they're going to take a look at this one. I don't measure this to see if it's a first down. But Reich has done a great job in reading the defenses.
Yeah, that is his strength. You talked with the defensive coordinator of the Dolphins, Tom Olivedati, and they have great respect for the football knowledge and instincts of Frank Reich. It is a first down for Buffalo.
Just remember the play before, he pulled the ball down, had no one to throw the ball to right away. It was a quick pass that was already covered, so he pulled the ball down, ran, only picked up, what, a half a yard or so. That's okay. Second down, read the blitz, got Reed coming across the middle. Now, I would imagine they go back to a running play.
Good call, Paul. Thank you. Intended for the tight end, Keith McKellar. Covered by the strong safety, Jarvis Williams. Thurman Thomas to the sideline. He's been limping from time to time, and they are checking him out. He's trying to work it off. Kenneth Davis replacing Thurman Thomas in the backfield.
Kenneth Davis has just been a great player for the Buffalo Bills. Here's another guy that knows his role. It's behind Thurman Thomas.
And it's a 2nd and 10. Off the dump off, it is Davis. Stopped by Hugh Green. Kenneth Davis spent 3 years with Green Bay. This is 2nd with Buffalo, signed as a Plan B free agent. Known as I guess you'd call him a north-south type runner. Not much flexibility, but as they say, plays within his limitations. Something you can relate to.
I can understand that, and you know, every time that I've seen him in a ball game, and you see him in preseason, and he is a north-south runner. There's nothing east and west about him. He just heads for the hole. If it isn't there, he's going to try and make one.
It's a 3rd down and 1. Mueller and Smith have come on for the short yardage situation, and it's picked up by Smith. Don Smith, another strong role player in that Buffalo backfield. Thurman Thomas now checks back in. Smith departs. Clock is running. We're just under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Buffalo with a 17-7 lead on the Dolphins. Touchdown passes from Reich to Lofton, Reich to Reed, and the field goal by Norwood, Marino to Duper for the Miami score on a 30-yard touchdown pass. First down at the 46. Reich able to elude the pressure and then has to run it out of bounds. We're set for another update. Let's go to Bob and NFL Live.
Marv, an absolutely huge day today in Cincinnati for James Brooks. He lines up in a conventional set, then comes up alongside Boomer Esiason. Houston shuffling their defense to try and react, but they hand the ball almost right off the snap, like a sleight of hand to Brooks. He gallops 40 yards. He has runs of 40, 44, and 56, 164 yards on the day on 10 carries. Houston and Cincinnati tied at 20 in the 3rd.
Thank you, Bob. Here it's a 17-7 Buffalo lead. Clock is running. We're coming up on 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Thomas back to the action, but he's hit for a loss. Hugh Green from the outside linebacker position to make the stop. Now let's check out the rest of the scoreboard. The Hertz 10-minute ticker with Philadelphia in front of Dallas. Bob mentioned Houston and Cincinnati tied at 20. Pittsburgh maintaining the big lead on Cleveland as they look to clinch a wild card. Chicago in front of Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and the LA Rams just playing out the schedule. Same for the Jets and New England. New England headed to 1 up and 14 down for Saturday. 8th play of the drive, and on the draw is Thomas. So Thurman Thomas collects the 1st down.
The play before that, they ran Thurman Thomas, try to get him outside off tackle. That didn't work, so let's come back and run it up the middle. This time they go between the guard John Davis, number 65, Ken Hall, and the house Ballard on that side. They go straight ahead this time, eliminate that outside run.
It has been Buffalo in command in this 3rd quarter. And the first down at the 42. Here's Thomas off the delay. He broke a tackle and has another first down. McKyer made the stop. Thurman Thomas going for another 12.
We got an injured Bill. One of the wide receivers on the outside is down about the 35-yard line. That's Beebe.
He took a hit earlier. Took a shot in the head in the 1st quarter, then able to make his return. Don Beebe out of Chadron State in Nebraska. A 3rd-round draft pick last year.
Beebe's coming in and trying to make a block at number 82. Watch right here. Now here's Beebe. He's setting up the block. And then as Offerdahl goes through the tackle, he catches Beebe right in the knee, in his left knee with his helmet, his shoulder. And that's when Beebe went down. He's on the top. Offerdahl's a linebacker. Will work his way to the outside. Up on the top is Beebe blocking. He does not see Offerdahl. Watch his left leg. Right there, he just caves his knee in. You know, we're talking about the things that happen in freak accidents with knee injuries. You look at Kelly. What was it last week? Jim Richard hits, Johnson hits him into Wolford. Wolford gets knocked back into Kelly. Both guys go down. That's a freak accident, Kelly's knee injury. And here we see again, here's Beebe downfield blocking the defensive back. And from the side, never sees him coming. And Offerdahl, wasn't intentional.
Yes, last week, Will Wolford was pushed back into Jim Kelly, leading to the sprained left knee.
Get on the offense.
And this is the tail end of the play, and see the pain on the face of wide receiver Don Beebe. 21 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Buffalo with a 17-7 lead on Miami. I'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching the Jets and New England, with the Jets leading the New England Patriots by the score of 35-7. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire from Brit Stadium in Buffalo. The Bills in front of the Miami Dolphins by the score of 17-7. As you join us, you see Don Beebe, the Buffalo Bills wide receiver who went down a moment ago, took the shot from behind by the Dolphins' John Offerdahl, and they are very gingerly raising Beebe, and they will look to take him back to the locker room.
All right, here it comes. If we're freezing right here, here's Offerdahl's head and shoulder hitting Beebe right in the left leg, and Beebe never sees him coming. And look, you can just see the leg buckle to the inside. I mean, and then you saw the face of Beebe just moments ago. They are going to cart him off, and we'll get word to you as soon as possible.
For those of you who have just joined us, recapping, Reich has thrown 2 touchdown passes to Lofton and to Reed for a 14-0 lead. Don Beebe hears it from the crowd as he departs. Marino and Duper combined on a 30-yard touchdown strike. That cut it to 14-7 Buffalo. And Norwood hit from 21 yards away to extend to a 17-7 lead. We're down to 21 seconds left in the third quarter. Al Edwards has come on, replacing the injured Don Beebe. Miami Dolphins come in with a record of 11-3, and the Buffalo Bills at 12-2. A Buffalo win would clinch the division championship for the Bills and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They would get a first-round bye in the expanded playoffs. Miami must beat the Bills to have a chance to win the division title. Then they'd have to win next week against the Colts. Time has run out here in the third quarter. It's the Bills 17 and the Dolphins 7. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Bridges is giving Richard Mulligan's hometown a Christmas they'll never forget.
It's the best holiday ever!
Guess who's coming for Christmas on NBC tonight?
It's Chevrolet Geo winter time, where everyone can win with the best-selling line of cars. Sir, what Chevy are you looking at?
This Lumina.
That you are, and you can win with cash back and no payments for 90 days. And Lumina, Caprice, APV. Miss, ever buy a new car before?
No.
Winner! You can win with a first-time buyer bonus on Cavalier, Beretta, or Corsica.
Ask me another one.
You too can be a winner, so hurry to your Chevy Geo dealer during winter time.
Isn't my hair marvelous? Peter did it, you know.
Didn't we meet in Cannes last year, or was it Bora Bora?
So let's talk about you, darling. What do you think of my dress? Well, Rod said, let's go to Mick's house.
Both my Ferraris are in the shop. I hate that.
I see modeling as a stepping stone.
Sure.
But what I really want to do is direct.
Oh, you're right.
Hi.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
Now back to the 12th annual Toyotathon, coast to coast.
With America's lowest price sedan Tercel, starting at $64.88. Isaiah Thomas?
The view out here, with that price and great gas mileage, that's some deal.
That's the view from up here, too. This car's long on value.
Well, Squire, things are looking up.
With 13 other Toyota models under $10,000 and a great selection, now's the time to deal. Toyotathon, the event of the year. Don't miss it.
Catch all your sports highlights on Sports Extra, Sunday at 11:30 on Channel 2.
For the city of Buffalo, this is the biggest sports event since the American Football League championships of 1964 and 1966. 64, Buffalo beat San Diego to win the AFL title. 66, the Bills lost to Kansas City. And then Kansas City went on to play in the first ever Super Bowl. Thurman Thomas to the outside on first down as we get underway in the fourth quarter. Hugh Green made the stop. Let's take a look back at the scoring in the second quarter. Was Wright to Lofton on a 7-yard touchdown pass, 7-0 Buffalo. And then in the third quarter, look at the move by Andre Reed, and he's able to make the reception, a 5-yard pass play. Here's Thurman Thomas. Thomas looking for the first down in the third quarter. Later on in the quarter, Duper in that battle and able to hold on the bobble to cut it to 14-7. And Scott Norwood connected from 21 yards away for the 17-7 score. So the Buffalo Bills pick up the first down from the 18-yard line. The lone deep back is Thomas. Once again, the Dolphins are having their difficulty making tackles. We saw it for a while in the third quarter, and we saw it several weeks ago against the Washington Redskins.
And you look at the possession time again, as many times we talked about this, is what you do with the possession time. The Bills obviously scored 10 points, and the Dolphins in that 2:23 scored 7.
141 yards, 29 carries for Thomas. Second down and 5. Thomas again broke a tackle for the touchdown. With his 11th rushing touchdown, his 13th touchdown overall, he has now gone for 154 yards on the ground.
We showed it in the first half. The one thing about Thurman Thomas is that, his legs never stop. He just keeps moving. He bounces off of people. He can run just as well left to right as he can straight ahead.
Wright puts it down for Norwood. Buffalo Bills with a 24-7 lead on the Miami Dolphins with 2 minutes gone by in the fourth.
Seems to me a new car warranty should cover the entire car for many miles. Now take Ford Taurus. Its basic warranty ends at just 12,000 miles. But the basic warranty on the new Cutlass Supreme goes a bit farther. Like from New York to L.A., back to New York to L.A., to New York to L.A., New York to L.A., New York to L.A., to New York to L.A., to New York, plus a trip to Anchorage, Alaska. Cutlass Supreme with its bumper-to-bumper plus warranty. Here's one car that does it all and does it right. Hey, Dad.
This is the new generation of old.
You've heard all about cold relief. Now you're going to hear about hot relief. New Tylenol Cold and Flu. With more medicine than any other hot liquid flu formula. Heat releases the power of this lemony medicine with 3 cold and flu fighters for your coughing, sneezing, and congestion. Plus Tylenol pain reliever for your fever, sore throat, aches, and pains. New Tylenol Cold and Flu. Part of Tylenol's complete cold relief line. Nobody cares for your cold like Tylenol Cold.
In Killarney, legend says take a deep breath after it rains, and that fresh, clean feeling will last the rest of your journey. There's a bit of this in every bar of Irish Spring. Ah, the lost and fresh scent of Irish Spring. The Irish never quit.
Question. How can Americans save 4.2 million gallons of gasoline a day? By properly inflating your tires. Let's put our energy into saving it.
Well, Thurman Thomas has had a sensational day. He just scored from 13 yards away. And his Buffalo Bills now lead the Miami Dolphins by the count of 24-7, 154 yards for Thurman Thomas.
Only carried the ball 30 times. He's got another 10 left in him.
Some confusion on the kickoff return. Stephon Adams finally picked it up.
When the Dolphins were returning the ball in the third quarter, the Bills were kicking into the wind. This time they let the kickoff go over their heads. Another mental error.
And Adams is back there with Logan because Troy Stratford is out for the rest of the game with that pulled muscle. Miami starts out from its 6. This is the worst starting field position of the day. Sammy Smith and Tony Page are the running backs. Marino with the time, but he could not find anyone. Second sack of the day for the Bills. Shane Conlon will get credit.
Reno had a notion he was going to run with the ball, but Shane Conlon happened to be standing right in his face. When Marino goes back to pass, look, the hole opens up to the side. Everybody's covered downfield, no place to throw the ball. So when he steps up, there's Shane Conlon sitting in his face. That's another sack.
Second and 11 from the 5. And Marino able to complete to Duper. The coverage by Nate Odoms picked up 10 on the play. Dan Marino telling us yesterday this is not one of his favorite places to play. He puts this alongside RFK in Washington and Minnesota because of the dome at the Metrodome and all the noise that is made. He's had some difficulties today, and it's gone to the hand signals upon occasion if he's had to change the call at the line.
And the Bills believe in the 12th man. Of course, there's 80,000 of them.
It's a 3rd down and 2 from the 14. The Dolphins have the first down. Clayton is pushed back the other way. Leon Seals leading the assault. Mark Clayton making his return today, coming off IR, reactivated. He has 6 catches, 78 yards.
They're going in to hurry up. Leon Seals gets a little excited, but didn't realize that Clayton already had the first down.
Only the second first down of the second half for Miami. The Bills have given up the short stuff. Tony Martin took the hit from Darryl Talley.
That's what you call coming to a screeching halt. Tony Martin caught the ball and just stopped right there as soon as Talley hit him. There was no place to go.
Second down and 4 at the 26. 4 minutes into the fourth quarter.
It's offside.
Smith coming quickly, and Marino has a free play and has a first down. James Pruitt making his first catch of the afternoon. Leonard Smith, David Poole combined for the tackle.
Bruce Smith again wants Webb called for, but it's offside. Bruce Smith.
That will go as a pickup of 18.
You know, it gets a little bit frustrating because, I mean, he's going for the sack rule. Here comes Smith. Now, is Webb moving? The Webb doesn't move. And there's Smith. He's way outside. Not only is he outside, but he runs by Marino, trying to get to that record.
Yes, He's been blank to this point in terms of sacks. The pressures, though, have been right on. Smith has 19 sacks to lead the NFL. And off the dump-off, Jim Jensen has a first down. Stopped by David Poole. That's a pickup of 11.
You know, Richmond Webb, now here's a rookie that made the Pro Bowl this year and playing against defensive ends. But here's Webb, 78 on Smith, 78, and he handles Bruce Smith.
First down at the Buffalo 44. And that is incomplete. Cooper slipped on the play. He was covered by Leonard Smith.
This almost stuck this one in his eye. Watch it. He slips, or watch where this ball hits him right in the head. Here it comes. Bing. That'll hurt your lips, man. He gets hit right in the mouth with the ball.
It'll be a 2nd and 10 at the 44.
Watch this. Here it comes. Hello. Oh. Wear a patch out there after this.
10:06 remaining, 4th quarter. Marino set up the screen. It was broken up. Bruce Smith got a piece of it. The pass intended for Jim Jensen.
Well, the Bills put in a defensive lineman, Mike Lodish, number 73, and he was on his way to Marino, and Smith is playing the screen. Here he is on Sims right here, number 78. Webb helps out. Lodish goes around. Now watch Smith. He sees the screen, sees Jensen coming in, and gets his hand on the ball. Almost makes the interception. It's all over the place.
Bruce Smith, man who can single-handedly dominate a game. That has not been the case here today, although he has come up strong. 3rd and 10. The 44. Marino goes down for the 3rd time. Mike Lodish, the rookie from UCLA, collects his 2nd sack of the season.
Lodish, now there's going to be a deal. Bruce Smith's going to go inside, and watch Lodish. He sneaks between Webb and Sims. Nobody comes out to block him. Sims doesn't stay with him. Lodish makes the sack. Excellent play by a team defense.
And that's a very high total. 3 sacks of Dan Marino. The punt by Roby. Edwards let it bounce. Coming into this afternoon, Marino had been sacked only 12 times, and Buffalo's gotten it on 3 occasions. 47-yard punt. We'll be back after these words.
At Northwest, a free flight is as easy as 1, 2, 3. The more you fly, the better it gets. Earn free flights to terrific sites. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. For details, call Northwest or your travel agent today. Important conditions apply.
My grandfather loves the unknown. I want a sure thing. I drive a new kind of Oldsmobile, the all-new Bravada, perfect for this jungle because it's got Smart Trap, a new anti-lock braking and all-wheel drive system that automatically sends power to the wheel that needs it. So I'm ready for the unexpected, whether I'm traveling across the river and into the trees.
This is the new generation.
Or just visiting your old man in the sea.
Bravada, engineered for the unexpected. This is no night for weak batteries.
Got enough energy to pull us through, Rudolph?
That's why you should test all your batteries with a new copper top tester. A little present. Only from Duracell. Tots, the premium choice.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Oldsmobile. Stop by your Oldsmobile dealer and see what's new from the new generation of Olds. By Northwest Airlines. Northwest's World Perks free travel program lets you fly free fast. By Tylenol Cold. Nobody cares for your cold like Tylenol Cold. And by Zenith. The quality goes in before the name goes on.
Welcome back to Buffalo, New York on a cool, crisp day. The temperature now at 31 degrees. Paul, you're still telling me you're not cold. Meanwhile,
there's half a Bentley.
We should explain that. Ray Bentley provides the Alice Cooper look with the eye black. Kenneth Davis stopped by Carl Wilson. Bob Costas all set to provide an update. Let's go to our studios in New York.
Marv, the Bengals are doing it on the ground. James Brooks closing in on 200 yards. And here's Ickey Woods, his second one-yard scoring run in the fourth. Cincinnati 27 and Houston 20. Marv, very impressive rock and roll reference, throwing in Alice Cooper. Let's go back to our motley crew in Buffalo.
Oh, that Bob, the clever turning of the phrases.
I know, he's in the Christmas spirit, isn't he?
Second down and 7 from the 13. 8:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Again, it's Davis. He is short of the first down. Cliff Odom able to get him out of bounds. Earlier we talked of Buffalo's right tackle, Howard. House Ballard goes 6'6" in the area of 315. Howard with a generous gesture a couple of weeks back. He wears size 15 shoes. It's a large size, Paul, as you know. He had heard of a local high school football player who could not locate size 15 shoes. And turned out that stores in the area did not carry that size. So Howard gave the young man several pairs of his shoes. What a guy.
Really nice. I mean, and they were new shoes, too. Not us old worn out guys.
House at right tackle. Ballard and Wolford on the tackles. Richer and Davis on the guards. Hull at center.
Delay game against Buffalo. Motley Crew, Costas calls it.
Yes.
You know, he's the only guy that I know of that when he puts lights on his tree, you know the bottom layer? He needs a ladder. Just the one near the stand.
Oh, you are brutal.
Oh, I love it, you guy.
It is a third down and 8.
Hope he gets all the toys he wants for Christmas.
From the 12. Just under 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And Buffalo leading Miami 24-7. Right completes for the first down. Andre Reed with his fourth catch of the day. John Offerdahl making the stop.
Just can't say enough about how Frank Reich has been able to read the defenses. Andre Reed, look, it's just a short pass play. When you're playing that far off of Andre Reed and Offerdahl comes up to make the play, Oliver, number 25, never got up to Reed. And if you take a look at, he leads the American Football Conference as far as reception is concerned. Andre going to the Pro Bowl. But I can tell you that almost 80% of his passes are 10 yards or less, and all the yardage he tacks on afterwards.
71 catches for the season now for Reed. First down at the 31. 7 minutes remaining. Fourth quarter. Kenneth Davis on the slant to the left, met by the defensive end Carl Wilson. T.J. Turner, usually the left defensive end starter, a scratch today on the inactive list because of a knee injury, so Wilson and Soche have been filling in. It is a second down and 7 at the 34. Buffalo Bills seeking a club record 13th win. They were 12-2 back in '64. They were 12 up, 4 down in 1988, while the Dolphins come in at 11 up and 3 down. And if Buffalo can hang on and come away with this victory, and it would take quite a turn for the Dolphins to pull this one out, Buffalo will win the AFC East and a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Good second effort by Davis, refusing to go down.
This is why Kenneth Davis has added so much to this football team, because he's the same as Thurman Thomas. Continuous effort. His legs never stop. Kelly says they're a little bit short. I don't know. Watch Kenneth Davis. Now here's where it slows down right here. But watch what he does. His legs never stop. He's driving forward, and he picks up another 2 yards.
They have called for the yardsticks.
Maley was wrong. See? Don't listen to quarterbacks all the time. You know the important thing about Reich, though? He's been a starter, what, 4 times since last year? Could be 4-0. Why Jim Kelly?
A little early celebration by a happy group of Buffalo Bills. Frank Reich as a starter last year, taking over for Jim Kelly, 3-0. This is first start of the 90 season. Buffalo has been in command, as you just saw, and they are just looking to run that clock down. First down play, Davis running well. Kenneth Davis in his 5th year out of Texas Christian, stopped by Cliff Odom.
Miami, if, and it in all likelihood will happen, lose this football game, that means they're going to have to play in a wild card ball game. They better get back and regroup defensively as far as defense against the run. I mean, they're not bad against the pass, but against the run, they've just been moving the ball, and we've been watching all through the end of the season. Teams that are just moving the ball up and down the field on the Dolphins, running the football.
Well, for those of you who were watching New England and the Jets, it is now 42-7 Jets, as the Jets hope to end the 5-game losing streak, and obviously will. Kenneth Davis carries. On a 2nd and 7, let's sweep around the scoreboard. It's Philadelphia with a 10-3 lead on Dallas. Cincinnati now in front of Houston on an Ickey Woods 1-yard run for a touchdown. Bubby Brister has thrown 4 for Pittsburgh, and they're about to clinch a playoff spot. Chicago on top, Atlanta 2013 over the Rams, and the Jets on a 5-yard run by 3rd-string quarterback Troy Taylor extended to 42-7 on 1-13 New England. The Patriots have lost their last 12. 8th play of the drive. It's a 3rd down and 4 from the 47. And Davis able to break a tackle, trying to make the turn, but he's short of the 1st down. Jeff Cross, who has been very quiet this afternoon, getting credit for the tackle. Here's Don Shula, the NFL's winningest active coach, second only to George Halas, but he has had a very long day here on the sideline. 3:39 remaining, 4th quarter. We'll be right back.
Walk into a television showroom, and someone will probably try to sell you a set with a foreign name on it. Before you see their choice, ask to see yours. Ask to see the first TVs that combine digital video and audio with a performance to back it up. Ask for picture-in-picture with triple flashback. Ask for a single remote that can learn to run everything. Ask to see a Zenith. For true innovation in television, quality never looked more like a Zenith.
How fast does Dristan nasal spray start working to clear up congestion?
Hey, I didn't expect it to start to work as fast.
Dristan nasal spray starts to work in seconds.
There is a better battery. The Napa legend, the better battery.
My dad knows all about space vehicles. He directed me to the new Oldsmobile Silhouette. Its looks are stellar. And the interior is perfect for the enterprising family. The modular seats pull out easily. There's a place for everything. Compared to other forms of space travel, Silhouette is the logical choice. Right, Dad?
Eminently logical.
This is the new
Silhouette. Travel in space and style.
Happy holidays from Buffalo, and in light that this is the Christmas season, certainly is. A couple of nice things for Bob Costas back at NFL Live. What do you have there, Paul?
I went out and got him a tuxedo for, I know New Year's he's going to be in Buffalo here, so Bobby, we got you a tuxedo, and it'll be real nice. You'll like this one.
And I know Bob plays a lot of basketball in his driveway, so we got him a brand new pair of sneakers.
Boy, Merry Christmas, Bobby.
Bob, from us to you.
Thanks, bud.
the fair catch, a 44-yard punt. It's 3:32 left now in the fourth. Let's go to our pal Bob.
What a misnomer, oh marvelous one. The Jets now with a 42-7 lead over the truly pitiful New England Patriots, who have now lost 13 in a row or will shortly. Here's the rookie quarterback Troy Taylor rolling in on the 5-yard run and a 35-point Jet lead. Marv?
Paul, what do you think he meant by that?
I have no idea.
First down from the 12-yard line. Jensen on the completion out of the 19 is stopped by Talley. Jim Kelly has been working the sideline pretty aggressively.
You know, we talked to Jim. I talked to him yesterday in the hallway, and I said, Jimmy, you're going to be sending the signals in to Frank Reich? He said, no, I'll leave that up to Gail Gilbert. I'll be too nervous.
Second down and 3. And the Dolphins have the first down. Again, Jensen on the reception. Stopped by Talley. So the Buffalo Bills on their way to clinching the division championship. That'll be 3 in a row for the Bills. Home field advantage, which is of prime importance. It is deflected. Nearly picked off. Cornelius Bennett had a shot that was intended for Mark Clayton.
Just what he did after he almost had the ball. He jumped up. I mean, this could hurt. Number 97, Cornelius Bennett. Biscuit, watch it. He gets hit in the head, but he jumps up and falls on the ground.
I thought it was kind of a Pele move myself.
It really was. It was beautiful. All right. Cornelius tips the ball, and then he just jumps up in the air.
Second and 10 from the 26. Pruitt on a 21-yard hookup, stopped by Clifford and Hicks. A Buffalo win clinches the division. Home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So the Bills on their way to receiving a first-round bye in the expanded playoff setup. Penalty marker is down. The diving catch made by Pruitt. It is ruled incomplete. He scooped it up. But let's see what the call is.
We got offside against the Bills again.
A look at what the Bills are about to accomplish. They come off the solid victory over the Giants last week for the Bills, one of the most inspired games of the season, losing Jim Kelly in the process. But the feeling is that Kelly will be out about 3 to 4 weeks. He'll practice in 3 weeks, play in 4, and then he'd be back for the Bills' first playoff game, which would be the divisional playoff.
And that's talking to the Buffalo Bills, the coaching staff, and everybody involved. That's the most important part with Kelly right now is the fact that he can get back for the playoffs, but that week off, that's why they needed to win a division here.
Penalty marker down again on that 1st and 5. All right, here's Red Cashin.
Lined up in a neutral zone again. The Buffalo Bills offside again. 2 in a row gives them a first down. Miami.
So it is a first down at the 42. Ray Bentley. Now you can see that Alice Cooper look. And Marino almost intercepted by Leonard Smith. Pass intended for Jim Jensen. Andre Reed, who caught a touchdown earlier.
This pass looked like it was intended for Leonard Smith. I mean, he's going down. Clayton is running downfield also, but watch where Marino throws the ball. Right into the hands of Leonard Smith, and he drops it. Scared him.
Leonard Smith, in his 8th year out of McNeese State, one of the harder hitters, took a shot at himself.
Yeah, well, he hadn't had a chance to hit anybody.
Marino 21 for 37, 250 yards. The Dolphins have not gotten it done. He's been sacked 3 times, intercepted once. Goes sideline. Mark Duper. But he caught it out of bounds. It'll be a 3rd down play coming up. Well, for a little excitement on Christmas Day, check us out. Starting 3 o'clock Eastern Time, the Detroit Pistons, the defending NBA champs, go against Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Into the NBA basketball and NBA Showtime starting at 3 with Pat Riley and a fellow by the name of Bob Costas, who might be able to put those sneakers to good use.
Hey, I know Bobby. He'll wear them.
It's a 3rd down and 10. Marino just shovels it. He was in trouble. He avoided the sack. Pass was thrown in the area of Jim Jensen.
Cornelius Bennett was all over him, and that was a legal pass.
Minute 53 to go in this 4th quarter. We'll be back after this timeout.
In time, all definitions must be revised. But when it came to redefining luxury, it wasn't a Webster, it was Oldsmobile, the all-new 98. Now you can have anti-lock brakes, fuel-efficient power, computerized suspension, technology found in cars costing thousands more, which by my definition could be the greatest luxury of all. And you can always take a Webster at his word.
This is the new 98. Luxury redefined. Generation of Olds.
Got a painful cold? Alka-Seltzer Plus relieves painful cold symptoms some others miss.
Everything feels better, better, better.
Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Relief for your painful cold.
Kindergarten Cop gets straight A's, says Joel Siegel of Good Morning America. And Jeffrey Lyons of Sneak Previews calls it hilarious, endearing, and enormously entertaining. Kindergarten Cop, rated PG-13. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
Isaiah, Air. A special Christmas Day presentation of the NBA on NBC.
Stuff that in your stocking.
Capacity crowd of 80,290, and I would venture to say that just about everyone has stayed. They want to celebrate when the final gun sounds and the Buffalo Bills officially win their 3rd straight AFC East title.
Look, when you even look at the exits, I mean, they're standing in the hallways and the exits. These people have not left. And you think they're not going to party here?
Bills continue their undefeated play at home. They will make it 8 out of 8. The AFC's only undefeated home club. And Marino throws on 4th down and almost picked off. Again intended for Pruitt. John Hagee had a shot at it. Thanks to our spotters, Michael Gluck, Steve Solomon. Penalty marker is down. And we appreciate the stat work of Carrie Haller and Larry Pollock. Our producer, Glenn Adamo. Director, John McDonough. Well, today's Ronald McDonald Children's Charities Player of the Game is Buffalo quarterback Frank Reich. McDonald's and NBC will donate $5,000 on behalf of all the players selected in today's games to Ronald McDonald Children's Charities to help give kids a better tomorrow. Reich, 15 for 21, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns as he stepped in for the injured Jim Kelly in glorious fashion. Thurman Thomas also a huge day, 154 yards. On the ground, Jensen on the completion, stopped by Darryl Talley. Well, the executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. The coordinating producer of NBC's football, John Ferrancis. Today's game has been produced by Glenn Adamo. And there you see another hookup through it. On the reception, John McDonough, our director. Associate Director Doug Gravert. Production Associate Jenny Huber. Technical Manager Art Parker. Production Managers Ralph McFarland, Tim DeKime, and Technical Director Jimmy Johnson. Thanks to all those folks and a cast of thousands. As we wish you a happy holiday from Western New York, from Rich Stadium in Buffalo. Time running down. 1:08 left in this fourth quarter.
Well, Red Cash is saying Miami took their second time out. It should read 1:13. They will put 5 seconds back onto the clock. And the reason, if you were enthralled with everything that was going on, there was on fourth down an incompleted pass. The Buffalo Bills were offside. Gave the Miami Dolphins another chance on fourth down. They completed it for a first down to Jensen, and they now have the ball just inside the 11-yard line. But the score is 24-7. Did a great job with names. You know that? I should read that. That's terrific.
Thanks so much, Paul.
Hey.
Unaccustomed as I am to your compliments.
I know. You know, there's only a few things I usually compliment you on, and that's one of the great things that you do.
And they have readjusted the clock. 1:13 remaining. Marino changing the play at the line. Goes incomplete, intended for Clayton, covered by Hicks. Next week, the Dolphins will close at home against Indianapolis. They won at Indianapolis back in week 7 by the score of 27-7. And next Sunday, in the final game of the regular season for Buffalo, they will conclude against the Redskins at RFK in Washington, and then get the bye in the first round of the playoffs and prepare for the divisional playoff meeting. Next Saturday, good one, Kansas City Chiefs and the Chicago Bears. Will be there, yes. Soldier Field in Chicago.
Weather will not be a factor there either.
Yeah. And that'll start at 12 noon Eastern time. Bob Costas hosting NFL Live. Marino throwing, touchdown. It is Mark Clayton on the reception. So Mark Clayton making his return today in a big way. That's his third touchdown of the season.
And Marino is running out to the outside. Everybody's kind of relaxed, and here's Clayton. He bobbles the ball, but then makes the catch, gets down in bounds in the end zone. That's touchdown. There's still a minute to go in this ball game. One of the most exciting plays in football, as far as I'm concerned, is the onside kick, and that we're going to see in just a few moments.
And for Clayton, 7 receptions, 89 yards. There's Pete Stoyanovich with 1 minute remaining in this fourth quarter. The Buffalo Bills now leading the Miami Dolphins by the score of 24-14. And the Buffalo Bills preparing for the possibility of the onside kick.
All right, Barb, right here. Here's Clayton, and what he's going to do is he's going to come down in here and then come back into the end zone. Marino will roll back to the outside and then hit him right here for the touchdown. Clayton comes inside, sees Marino rolling out, rolls back to the outside, and there he is, touchdown. Nice play. A little late.
Well, that is our lineup coming up tonight. Whole High, followed by the NBC News special, hosted by Maria Shriver. And then Guess Who's Coming for Christmas? Tonight, right here on NBC. Down to 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter. Buffalo Bills headed to a record of 13-2. Their 2 losses took place at Houston and at Miami. And the Dolphins will drop to 11-4, but it's been a terrific turnaround season for Miami. They were alive for the playoffs down the stretch last year, then lost 4 out of the last 5, and not too many folks thought that they would have a record of 11-4 at this point.
I think they surprised themselves with it.
And the onside kick is covered up by the Buffalo Bills. Steve Tasker, one of the superb special team performers in the league, showing his quickness and getting to it.
Now, see, one of the things, just to explain here, is Tasker gets the ball at about the 40-yard line. Now, the Dolphins, they can't touch the ball until it goes at least 10 yards. But the receiving team can touch it anytime. Now, Tasker did not catch the ball. By touching it, the Dolphins could have recovered the ball. But they could not recover the ball until it went at least 10 yards.
They continue to celebrate here in Buffalo. And the Bills will just run it out from the Miami 40-yard line. 59 seconds remaining. Harold Talley, part of the celebration on the sideline. Frank Wright is holding on to the football. So the understudy, Frank Reich. Nice moves by Andre Reed and Leonard Smith. The understudy, Frank Reich, steps in for Jim Kelly. He was the one question mark going into today. The combination of Reich and Thurman Thomas putting the Bills in command from the start. And they go on to defeat the Miami Dolphins. That'll do it. The clock running down, and they are now officially celebrating the AFC East Championship here in Buffalo. For the Bills, it is a club record 13th victory. 13-2. They were 12-2 back in '64. They won 12 and lost 4 in '88. Marv Levy and his Buffalo Bills defeat the Miami Dolphins by the score of 24-14. Frank Reich throwing for 2 touchdowns. And Thurman Thomas 154 yards on the ground. And look at this scene here at Rich Stadium.
Yeah, well, see, they brought the horses in so they keep the fans off the field. And it really has done the job. These fans are going to beat up the horses. You better get those horses out of there. They want the goalposts.
Please stay off the field.
You seen any horses lately? I love this. They were telling us we don't have to worry about crowd control. We've got the horses coming in. Well, I'll tell you what. Better get those horses out of there. Look at them. There's the horses. You guys say, get my horse.
Well, the only hope is that no one gets hurt. They are actually, they had no choice. They're letting them go, Paul.
Well, those goalposts are like, what, $8,000 a piece?
Paul, looking at it from the economic point of view. Final score, the Bills take the AFC East by beating Miami 24-14. We'll be back in just a moment.
Ann had always loved grape nut cereal. I tried it once or twice.
I said you gotta try it with breakfast for at least a week. Get to know it. That good nutty taste. And, well, it's packed with complex carbohydrates. It's a natural energy source. It'll help keep you going.
So I did it. And I do feel great. Now I love it more than she does.
No way.
Breakfast with Post Grape Nuts helps keep you going strong all morning long.
You gotta try it for a week yourself.
Reggie, Lewis, Roller Coaster Jam. Lewis, Around the World Jam. Reggie, Reverse Jam.
That's Reverse Jam.
That's Reggie, Lewis.
Lady Stetson. Independence.
A declaration of independence. Wear it.
Dear USA, there is a city where marketplaces are full of wonders, where giants play, troubadours entertain, and elves and dragons dance together. A magical city where the friends you make are friends for life. It's Barcelona. It's in Spain.
A wild scene in Buffalo. They continue to celebrate as the Bills defeat the Dolphins 24-14. The Bills win the AFC East, and they get a bye in the playoffs in the first round. And the Buffalo Bills are loving it. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire saying so long from Rich Stadium in Buffalo.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies. What's Christmas without a little family?
They're nothing but a bunch of gangsters.
Kill him. Coming Christmas Day to NBC, A Godfather's Revenge, Tuesday.
Presenting the 1991 Plymouth Acclaim with the incredibly low price of just $10,825. No wonder it's Chrysler's best-selling car. Acclaim gives you over 50 standard features, including a driver's airbag, a fuel-efficient engine full of best mileage in its class that gives you 448 miles between fill-ups, available seating for 6, ABS braking, and more. And you can drive a new Acclaim for only $188 a month. Now that's value.
Season's greetings from North Star Bank.
If it's out there, it's in here. The 9X Yellow Pages. Why would anyone need another?
It's Chevrolet Geo winter time, where everyone can win with the most fuel-efficient line of cars and trucks in America.
Sir, what's your favorite color?
Medium Quasar Blue Metallic.
Good guess. You can win with cash back or low financing on any Geo. Tracker, Storm, Prism. Miss, come here often?
I've never even bought a new car before.
Well, then you can win with a first-time buyer bonus on any Geo.
I love this Metro.
I can tell.
Get to know Geo during wintertime at your Chevy Geo dealer.
Tune in for Goal to Go and Sports Extra today on Channel 2. Watching Buffalo with the victory, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. Philadelphia has defeated Dallas. The final score in this one is 17-3. Philadelphia has cinched a wild card. They did that previously in the NFC. They take their record now to 9-6. Their objective is to win next week, in which case they would have home field advantage against the Redskins in one of the wild card games. Dallas still has a shot at the last remaining wild card, but they didn't do themselves any favors by losing today. Their 4-game winning streak comes to an end. Their record goes to 7-8, and they lost their starting quarterback Troy Aikman with a separated right shoulder, and the veteran journeyman Babe Laufenberg had to finish the ball game up. The Eagles win by 2 touchdowns. Houston is playing at Cincinnati. James Brooks with an enormous day, better than 200 yards rushing, and the Bengals are winning this one late in the fourth quarter, 40-20. Here's Warren Moon off the near record-setting performance, throwing for 527 yards last week at Kansas City. Good start for him. Haywood Jeffries makes the outstretched catch, 21-yard TD. Moon's 33rd touchdown pass of the year leads the league, and at that point it was 10-0 in favor of the Oilers, but soon the Bengals came back second. Brooks led the way. He had 3 runs of 40 yards or better, including this 56-yard touchdown, which tied it at 13 in the second quarter. Then in the third quarter, the trick play. He lines up in a standard set, then comes up close to Esiason at the line of scrimmage. Houston is confused. He breaks it for 40 yards. It sets up a subsequent Cincinnati touchdown scored by Stanford Jennings. And that tied it again at 20-20. Now here's the go-ahead touchdown. Ickey Woods vaults over the top. His second 1-yard scoring run of the day, an opportunity for the shuffle, very briefly there for the Ixter. And then it was Esiason to the air. He throws 2 touchdown passes to Eric Kattis in the fourth quarter, 16 and then 22 yards. They missed the point after following one of them, which scarcely matters. The Bengals prevail here, 40-20. Houston will not be eliminated in the chase for a playoff position, but Cincinnati is in good shape. And Cincinnati, if they beat Cleveland next week, and the way the Browns are playing, that seems like a foregone conclusion. Cincinnati would be the champions of the AFC Central if the Oilers, playing at home next week, defeat Pittsburgh, coupled with a Bengal win against the Browns. And we're back with more right after this as the postgame show continues.
Goal to Go is brought to you in part by True Value Hardware Stores. Got a tough job to do? You can do it with True Value Hardware Stores. By Lockport Nissan Volkswagen, Western New York's #1 Nissan dealer. By Sports Radio 930 WBEN. By Midway Airlines. Fly Midway Airlines and discover what flying should be to 60 cities in the U.S. and Canada. And by Auto Place Infinity, Western New York's newest luxury automobile line.
The final score, Buffalo 26.
Now for an in-depth summary of today's Bills game, plus a comprehensive look around the National Football League. This is Channel 2's Goal to Go, the post-game show.
Bills make me wanna kick your heels.
Here's the scene at Rich Stadium this afternoon, where the Bills have just beaten the Miami Dolphins 24-14 to win their 3rd consecutive AFC East Divisional Championship, and more importantly, win home field advantage throughout the playoffs for the first time in those 3 years. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Wes Goforth. The Bills have done it this afternoon, 24-14 over the Miami Dolphins, as we told you, and did a lot of things right and Reich. Frank Reich had a great day with 15 completions, 21 attempts, 235 yards, and 2 touchdowns in filling in for the injured Jim Kelly, and had a great day, and we'll give you an opportunity to vote for him or other Bills in our player of the day in just a few minutes. First of all, the defense had a great day, too, sacking Dan Marino a total of 3 times. This in the first quarter. On the first possession by Miami, Jeff Wright got to him. And then Shane Conlon later in the fourth quarter, and Mike Lodish right here in the fourth quarter with the Dolphins driving still somewhat in the ballgame about halfway through the fourth quarter, although they were trailing at the point at that time 24-7. So the Bills winning it 24-14 this afternoon. Our Pepsi Player of the Day, we'll give you an opportunity to vote for the Player of the Day, Don Beebe. 6'4", 9,900. Beebe had several catches, but unfortunately looks like he has a serious knee injury. We hope to know more about that later in the program. Frank Reich, we've already gone over his numbers. Outstanding in relief of Jim Kelly. Darryl Talley, big day on defense. Disappointed not making the AFC Pro Bowl earlier in the week. However, had a big day against the Dolphins this afternoon. And how can you overlook Thurman Thomas? Better than 150 yards on the ground as the Bills pretty much controlled, obviously, the clock and the ground game this afternoon, and that another big part of the defense's effort. They were able to shut down Sammy Smith and the Dolphins' running game. So again, 24-14, Bills over the Miami Dolphins this afternoon. Other NFL games this afternoon of importance, mainly in the AFC Central Division at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. Houston against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Oilers were up 3-0 in the second quarter when Warren Moon hit Haywood Jeffries on a 21-yard touchdown, and they took a 10-0 lead. But 13-6 Oilers now later in the quarter. James Brooks up the middle, 56 yards, pretty much untouched for the touchdown. Brooks has over 200 yards rushing. The Oilers are going to score a touchdown here to go in front 20-13, but Boomer Esiason has come through with 2 touchdowns late in the fourth quarter, and now the Bengals lead that game 40-20, and that somewhat muddles the picture in the AFC Central. However, this game was not muddled at all. The Cleveland Browns fumbled the first 3 times they touched the ball, the first 3 plays from scrimmage, and the Pittsburgh Steelers scored on 3 touchdown passes by Bobby Brewster. This one to Mike Malarkey to make it 7-0. Pittsburgh wins this one 35-0 is the final this afternoon at Three Rivers Stadium, and the Pittsburgh Steelers will clinch the AFC Central Division with a win there this afternoon, and in fact they already have done that, 35-0. Ed Kilgore is standing by live at Rich Stadium with the jubilant Buffalo Bills and their general manager Bill Polian. Ed?
But that's right, Wes. I'm with the architect, as it is, and they painted a pretty picture for you here, Bill Polian, this afternoon. You couldn't ask for a better performance all the way around. Defense, special teams, offense, and of course Frank Reich. Great job.
Yeah, terrific job. Great job by Marvin, the coaching staff. Great job by the players. You could tell at Wednesday's practice that they were just sharp as could be. Frank was every bit as sharp during the week as he was today, and of course the defense played magnificently. You know, everything really went against us. All the calls went against us.
First half was kind of ridiculous.
Oh, it was absurd. You know, and yet we continued to persevere and ran. And as we said, you know, you got to run to win, and we ran to win at the end. Thurman did a magnificent job, and Donnie Smith, when he was in, just a great victory. And the only damper on it, Don Beebe getting hurt. But all in all, it's nice to win 3 in a row.
No question about that. Very quickly, too, one of the pluses I thought was the offensive game plan. The Bills came out. They didn't come out tentatively. They came out throwing deep, putting the ball up, mixing the plays, and it seemed like the Dolphins were flat-footed most of the way.
Well, you don't believe us. You know, we said all week Frank can do all the things that Jimmy
You told us, yeah.
Yeah, you just didn't believe us. That's all.
You're going to have a hard time keeping him in Buffalo, you know.
No, we won't.
Oh, okay.
No, we won't.
All right. Great job, Bill. Congratulations, because you're the guy that put this together. All right, right now we're going to go back to our studios with Wes. Wes?
Okay, and thanks a lot, and congratulations to Bill Polian. Frank Reich, beautiful job of reading the defenses this afternoon, mainly for the Buffalo Bills. Marv Levy conducting his post-game press conference, and we join the Bills head coach live.
Hey, man, we got we've got magnificent fans. Were they a factor in the game? Without a question. Without a question. They helped us. They inspired us. I'm sure they made it more difficult for Miami to operate. It is when you're on the road. The big advantage is playing at home usually is your crowd. Usually is your crowd. I beg your pardon? They did get the goalpost? Okay, well, that's too bad because we're going to need it some more. Don broke his leg, broke his lower leg, and he'll be done the rest of the way. That was not a blanket condemnation, by the way. I think that most of the treatment of the team has been very even-handed. I think it's been in very isolated areas that it hasn't been. I beg your pardon?
Speak up. With the offensive line, can you talk specifically to the amount of time that Frank was getting today?
I didn't quite hear.
Can you talk about the amount of time that Frank got to throw today?
Oh, well, he got time to throw. They were playing a good deal of zone defense. Frank read coverage as well. But our offensive line did a great job of protecting. Frank put them into good protection schemes a lot. He put them into good protection schemes. But our offensive line did the work. You know, they did they did the dirty work, the hard work.
Pretty much the game plan that Jim would have run the same game plan pretty much.
It was the same type of game plan that we would have come in with Jim Kelly, yes. Again, I said it all week. We tried to structure a plan for Miami that either quarterback is best equipped to run our offense, not his offense, his specific offense. They've both been operating with this type of thing most of the year. We're not sure how it would come down. We didn't know in any game we played that we might continue with something we were doing, but we had some success and stayed with it.
Are they supposed to use the one back all year? Use one back?
Yeah, this is the most. This is the most. No, Milt, that comes right off of what I just said. I wouldn't have guessed going into the game that we would have, by the end of the game, have used one back as much as we did. But we were getting... Huh? We stayed with it because we were getting success, particularly in a mix of run and pass. So we did stay with it. But if you would have... which I wouldn't have before the game, but I know in my own mind, to guess that we would have used it that much to the exclusion of two backs, I would have said no, we wouldn't have. Just
how crucial was it for Thurman to have a real good game as he did? You wanted to run.
Well, it's crucial for...
Bills head coach Marv Levy live at his press conference following the Bills' win that clinches the AFC East for them. You heard the bad news from Marv just now live. Don Beebe, the wide receiver, has a broken leg and is lost for the remainder of the season. And one correction earlier, the Pittsburgh Steelers did not clinch the AFC Central today, but just a playoff berth in their win this afternoon. We'll be back with more live from the stadium in just a minute. Don't go away.
The Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout, throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout, yeah, 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 yeah. Shout it right now, baby.
I'm Barry Lillis for Dr. Sarles, the administrator of the Erie County Union Foot Care Program, serving AFL-CIO union families and retirees for 25 years. With offices located in Amherst, Cheektowaga, West Seneca, and Hamburg. You probably just received this pamphlet in your mail. If not, AFL-CIO participating members should bring this to the attention of a union officer so this valuable information can be distributed to your total membership.
Hi, everyone. This is Dave May. When I'm above the city doing traffic reports, I see a lot of Nissans on the road, and it reminds me of the terrific service I know you can get at Lockport Nissan Volkswagen. They've got it all. Excellent product, large inventory, outstanding selection, convenient service hours, and, well, I think you've got the message.
Lockport Nissan Volkswagen. We have a lock on performance.
One more day, dear. One more smile. Feel the heat, dear, all the while. For these days have a warm, real treasure.
Hey, I know plumbing. I'm the one that connected these pipes. I know every inch of this sink, and I know when I'm stuck.
Well, Jerry, they don't make that setup anymore.
What?
But you can do it even better with the parts I've got here. And they'll last you a lot longer, too.
Yeah, I know every inch of this sink. But now, I know a little better.
You can do it with True Value Hardware Stores.
The Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout, throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making...
With their win this afternoon, the Bills go to 13-2, and that is the best regular season record ever for a Buffalo Bills team and the most wins. They already have a lock on that. Let's go to the NFL scoreboard this afternoon. Houston has lost now. This is a final 40-20, and both those teams are still alive for playoff position. Cincinnati's still alive for the division championship. Elsewhere, it was Pittsburgh over Cleveland, 35-0 is the final there, and the Steelers again clinch at least a wild card with that victory this afternoon. The New York Jets and New England Patriots, just playing out the schedule here, Jets 42-7 over New England. The hapless Patriots fall to 1-14 on the season right now. Philadelphia defeated Dallas 17-3. The Cowboys still can clinch the last remaining playoff berth in the NFC. Either they or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will get that. And Chicago over Tampa Bay 27-14 this afternoon. That's a final. Atlanta over the Rams 20-13. This is a final score also from Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. And now the 4 o'clock starts. New Orleans, San Francisco just getting underway. No score there. KC and San Diego. If the Chargers win this game, it gives the AFC West to the Los Angeles Raiders. Kansas City still in the playoff hunt for a wild card. Giants and Phoenix scoreless in the first quarter, and Denver and Seattle an 8 o'clock start tonight at the Seattle Kingdom. Ed Kilgore standing by live in the Bills locker room now with Shane Conley. Ed?
That's right, Wes. You know, it's hard to say today who did the better job, the offense or the defense. You talk about team victory, Shane. This was it. You guys went out. You knew what you had to do was stuff the run, and you certainly did that. I don't have the Miami stats. I'm sure the Bills had to be close to a couple hundred yards rushing, and the Dolphins had very few.
Right. It was a total team victory. I think the offense played great. Frank Reich did a heck of a job, and defensively, our secondary played awesome, and we were able to get pressure on Marino.
Well, it's a little frustrating in the first half when most of the calls, just about everything close was going Miami's way. And was there ever that thought that, gee whiz, this might not be our day?
No, because we were playing well, regardless of the calls. I think we were playing well both ways, both sides of the ball. So, other than that, no, we just want to play football.
How about the missed field goal down there? That had to be a little bit of a...
That was great. Ray Bentley had great pressure on there. We had great pressure all year on our kick blocking. So I think that might have affected it somewhat.
Well, was there anything said at the half, or did you just come in and just say, just keep doing what we're doing, or did you make any adjustments?
No, we didn't make any adjustments defensively. I thought we came in, we said, we did a great job, which we did. I thought the whole game we did a great job. They probably wouldn't have scored that last time, but before that, they had that long kickoff run. Other than that, I think we were shutting them down pretty well.
All right. Now O.J. said something on the telecast about Bruce and McKellar having a little friendly disagreement during the practice season. Was there anything to that? Was that distracting?
Not at all. I mean, it's like a big family. Everybody has fights once in a while. There was no big deal. Just,
who won?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Shane, tell me this. Was it hard not to look ahead to the Dolphins this season? I mean, especially as the year got later on. I know you went to New York and you played a great game against the Giants, but was it difficult not to focus on this game?
No, not at all. I think this is a different team this year. We're playing every game, one game at a time, and we're giving our best effort week in and week out. Our bottom line is we want to win 14 games, so we'll be up for next week also.
I was going to say, next week is not a throwaway game.
Not at all, not at all. We want to be the best defense we can be, best team we can be, and we want to go 14-2.
All right, Shane, thanks for stopping by. And
Three-peat.
There you go, 3 in a row, AFC East champions. That's right, Shane Conlon, a big part of that. And right now we're going to go back to our studios in West. Go forth, Wes.
Okay, Ed, thank you. Shane Conlon, the Buffalo Bills linebacker, had 1 sack this afternoon of Dan Marino. The Bills altogether 3 sacks this afternoon. Tonight on Sports Extra at 11:30, we'll have the Bills-Dolphins story for you. Also an interview with Bison's president Bob Rich Jr. about the Bisons making the short list of expansion teams earlier in the week and other issues. And, of course, our roundtable discussion. And, by the way, the Buffalo Sabres play the Quebec Nordiques tonight. Don't go away. We'll be back with more live from the stadium in just a minute.
The Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout, throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout, yeah, 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 yeah. Shout it right now, baby.
If you're looking for the best Bills coverage pre- and post-game, there's one radio station that's covered the Bills on and off the field for over 10 years. Not just the game, that's the easy part, but the stuff you need to know to appreciate the game, to see the difference between this radio station's coverage and the rest. All you have to do is listen.
If you're not sure about it, stick around for some more clues.
WBEN's NFL Report, pre- and post-game. It's Buffalo's best Bills coverage.
What is a complete ownership experience? Sound interesting? Few dealerships nationwide provide this as completely as Auto Place Infinity. It's the simplicity of satisfaction and the allure of infinity. Classic elements and incredible performance provides the character of our flagship, the Q45, and the exhilarating N30. Auto Place Infinity, on Main across from Eastern Hills. Experience it.
You?
Yeah, me.
Russ, you have no eye for color.
I'm picking out the paint. I know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing.
You can do it, Russ. This True Test custom color system makes it easy to match colors, just like a decorator.
Admit it, Ellen. I picked out the perfect colors.
Yes, but who would ever believe it?
You can do it with True Value Hardware stores.
One more day, dear. One more smile. Feel the heat, dear, all the while. For these days have a warm, real treasure. The Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout, throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now.
The Buffalo Bills will start the playoffs in 3 weeks, the weekend of January 12th or 13th, against a winner of a previous AFC playoff game And that game, the Bills game, will be at Rich Stadium. Ed Kilgore now live with one of the 8 Pro Bowlers of the Buffalo Bills this week. Ed?
That's right. We're with Steve Tasker and the Miami Dolphins. What a compliment. Steve, I guess they developed a special game plan just for you. And I don't know how effective it was, but I saw you down. You seem to be, we saw your number down there on coverage quite a bit.
Well, I think that was for the fact that they were rushing a lot of punts, and that kind of took them out of their game plan when we were covering kicks the way we were. And we put them in a position where they had to come after us and make something happen. And they can't really worry about me when they're trying to do that.
Big play came in that second half kickoff when the ball hung up in the wind a little bit, I guess, and the fumble, and somebody jumped on it.
Yeah, the guy tried to field it and came forward, and Dwight had it and was down. And then in the ensuing fracas, he lost it. But when he was down, then they jumped on him, so the play was dead right then. That's why we got the ball. They had 3 Dolphins when they finally unpiled it.
Well, I wondered what the confusion was. Yeah.
3 guys when they finally unpiled it, 3 Dolphins had the ball. And but the thing was, Dwight had it, and then they jumped on him and took it away. So as soon as they jumped on him, the play was dead because he had possession of it. And so anything that happened after that was academic.
Looks like you might be pressed into service a little more. You don't like to see guys go down, but Don Beebe definitely is going to be out now. So I saw you pressed into service a little more at that wide receiver spot.
Well, I saw a couple of plays in the first half. Don got dinged a little bit early, but I only went in for a play or two. And they have a lot of confidence in Al Edwards. He can come in. He's as fast as Don, I would think. So we've got good guys we can put in. Plus, we have a couple of guys that we could activate off our practice squad, too. So we're not going to be hurting too bad. It's just a question of experience.
Okay, Steve, congratulations, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Steve Tasker, all-pro special teams guy, and right now we're going to go back to Wes.
Okay, thanks, Ed. Bruce Smith had no sacks this afternoon, but certainly plenty of pressures on Dolphins quarterback Dan Marino. Bruce is conducting a post-game press conference right now, and we join him live.
That was a big key for us.
How emotional was this?
Oh, it was very emotional. Very emotional. I tell you, we've been ready the whole week to play them. I mean, we had coaches coming into the meetings, banging their heads up against lockers and fired up and ready to go. We had to tell a couple of our coaches, hey, you're not playing Sunday. You know, we got to play the game.
This was perhaps the most draining week mentally for you guys?
Yeah. I think because of the fact that it seemed like it took so long to get here. We were ready to play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and